We are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Couch Show. We're
Welcome
your
on
hosts.
Twitch. Thank you for watching us on Twitch. We're live, right? We're on Twitch, right?
Um, we're live everywhere. Oh, look, it's popping up.
Right, we're live
Hey,
on
I got
Twitch.
the notification that we went live. That's awesome.
Did you? Where's the comments? Because I know the other day when I was on here, I could see the comments. I was
The
like, yo,
comments
that's
were
kind of cool.
going. Everyone was in the comments talking about what's going on.
Yeah, well, let me
Goodness
check the
pointer.
audio, make sure we can be heard. Let's see. Everything sounding good? All right, so let me turn this just a little bit. I don't even know where to go with this. It's so confusing. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Let's just leave it there. All right, so we got an echo here. Let's turn that down. All right, turn that on. Good vibes only. Yeah, good vibes. Yo, it's Thursday.
It
Good vibes.
is.
Yeah, it's Thursday. It's good vibes. All right. So we are live. I could see us. Audio
Yep.
sounded
I'm
good.
drinking some tea out of my Tigger mug. That
I got my
Ray,
tea.
you got me this mug years ago.
I got tea. Wait, I got tea right here, and I got coffee right here.
Oh, geez, you're double fisted.
Yeah, well, the coffee is to wake my ass up, and the tea is my magic tea. So I'm gonna be
Mm.
feeling a little happy after this show.
Yeah, I'm sipping on some tea
I
with
can't even wink.
that.
I can't wink. My eyes are broken. I couldn't wink.
I'm sipping on tea with infused honey, and I needed it because my allergies are just kicking my butt this morning. I stopped taking my allergy medicine a few days ago, and today I woke up and it's just like, hello, we're back, full swing.
You gotta take that tea with the local honey,
Yeah,
and that will give you a natural immunity to the allergies.
yeah. So my honey is actually infused. I got it from California.
Oh,
My
well, that's not where the
imported
bees
tea.
are.
You know.
You're gonna build an immunity to bees in Cali. Bees in Cali.
Yeah, I think it has 7 milligrams, seven milligrams of THC. I don't know.
Oh,
It's good.
so is this gonna be another one of those episodes where you're just like,
Maybe we'll
is it gonna
see
be one of those
soon.
episodes where you're gonna be like, oh, I'm kind of, I gotta, we gotta go, we gotta end this, we gotta end this show. Episode 43. We don't even have a topic. We're just winging it this morning.
Yep.
It's funny because Lynn, before we started, before we went on air, we got on here a little early so we could do some troubleshooting. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's explain real quick what happened on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, on Tuesday. Oh my gosh, Tuesday was ridiculous. We spent an entire hour trying to figure out why the hell we couldn't see each other, why we couldn't hear each other.
Yo,
Last
I went from my
Thursday.
phone.
So it started last Thursday. Last Thursday, we had
Yeah,
no visuals for Ray. His camera wasn't
we had the
working.
audio, so we said let's just go. Let's just do the show.
Right. So then
And then
Tuesday
Tuesday,
comes.
same thing.
Yep, we hop on. I'm like, Ray, I can't see you. I can't see you. So he's pushing buttons. Next thing you know,
So I
I
switched
can see
devices though.
you. Yeah, you switched like 3 devices, and I was able to see and hear you, but then you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, which was weird.
Did you see me though?
But
Did you have visual? You didn't see me either,
I
right?
could see you. I just couldn't hear you. I was
You just
like,
couldn't hear me. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So here we are. And Ray switched up his device
so
again.
right now I'm on my iPad, which is actually kind of cool that I'm on my iPad.
Mm-hmm. It
Good thing
frees
is
up your phone too.
good thing I have an iPad Mini because the little holding thing
Mm-hmm.
it's meant for a phone. So I guess you can have your phone long ways because that's how like the height of it.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. So like right here's my phone, right? Here's my phone, and let me see. Is this about the same size? Yeah, it's about that. It's about the same size as my iPhone. So my iPad, is like stretching out the thing. It's hilarious. I'm like waiting for it to, because like you know how they are. They're like cheap ass little spring
Yep.
made in China crap. So I'm just waiting for this iPad to come flying in my face. I'm gonna be like iPad attack. Ah! Like oh they took me out. They took me out. I said something they needed to like. So see my little team.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be like the meme. I'm gonna be like Kermit. I'm gonna say something. I'll be like, but that's none of my business. You know that meme?
Yep.
That's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna say something. I'll listen. You guys can say I'm being negative, but I'm just speaking the truth. It is what it is, and then I say it. I'm like, some of y'all just don't want to hear it. But
So we're going into the weekend. Big
we are
weekend. It's
going into the
Father's Day
weekend.
weekend.
No,
Big up
you
to
said
the
it's been
dads.
hijacked. You said it's been hijacked. She was like, prior to this, I was like, wait, what holiday? Like, oh,
Also,
that's cool. They're taking Monday off for Papa's Day?
also
No.
Juneteenth. Juneteenth
Got
this year
hijacked.
is on Father's Day.
I was like, look, Father's Day sucks as it is because you got all these single mothers trying to steal the thunder. I'm like, look, okay, you're a single mother. That's cool and all, but you had your day. Why you got to come and steal the thunder on Father's Day? Do you see single fathers doing that on Mother's Day? No. So I was like, look, Father's Day sucks already. And then they want to hijack it for another holiday.
Which
Boo.
technically it's being observed on Monday.
Boo. I don't care.
But, Juneteenth is
BS.
June 19th, and that's Father's Day this year.
BS. So Monday is the holiday? Monday is off? Everybody's off for Monday?
Yep. Everything's closed. The
I don't
banks
even
are all
know
going to be
these days anymore.
closed. It's one of those, official holidays now.
So does that mean, because I remember when I was working, there was 10 official holidays that you always had off. So that means there's now 11 official holidays you always have off?
Yes. Yeah, it's the 11th holiday.
And if they're gonna make Juneteenth as a holiday, can they make 9/11 a holiday?
Not the same. Juneteenth's been a thing since 1865.
Granted, but none of us lived through that. Where all of us lived through 9/11. So can we have 9/11 as a holiday?
I don't know.
I think to me
I don't know
that's
who you have to
more
talk
of
to about that. Okay.
Patriots Day or something. We
I
should
don't
have
have the
Patriots
connect.
Day or something. Yo, we were attacked. Yo, we gotta remember. But no, they want a holiday that we didn't live through. I don't get society, man. I really don't. Some of the stuff, it makes me wonder. I be scratching my head, serious.
So
Yeah,
I
so
got
Lynn was like, yo, Lynn
I
was
got
like, we
schooled
need
when I went to the dispensary the other day.
Uh-huh.
There was an older woman, and she came in, and I really liked her top, so I said something. I was like, wow, that's a beautiful top, looks great on you. She was like, oh, thank you. And we were standing there in line, and she's like, oh yeah, she's like, have you noticed that most of the people who come here are like me, the baby boomers were older, something. I was like, yeah, I have noticed that. She was like,
Where
yeah, I
at
don't see
the
many young
dispensary?
people. Yeah. She's like, I don't see many young people at the dispensary. I was like, yeah, that's true. I was like, a lot of people my age are still grabbing it from, the different sources that they were grabbing it from before.
Actually, you know what it is? I think that now, because Delta 8 and Delta 10 is legal, I think a lot of young people are just doing that. Because you can just walk into a CBD store and just buy it like that.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to realize that getting a card.
I think people are still buying it from their other sources, the bud man,
Yeah, but getting a card, that's really, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, let me get my card and stuff. But you got to realize the stuff that it hinders you. It hinders you with jobs, right? It hinders you with getting a gun. Because that's one of the questions that they ask when you buy a gun, So if you have something registered, yeah, I'm a medical user. Though you should, you got to remember that that's all covered under HIPAA laws, right? So if you want to answer no to any of those questions, that's on you. That's HIPAA privacy. That's supposed to be private. But to me, it's still alarming when it's you think you're doing everything on the uppity up, but the reality is federally is still illegal.
Yeah.
So you still get hammered somehow.
And it's difficult. It's difficult to get a card. It can be expensive to get a card. So the younger generation, they're not concerned with that. They're still getting their weed the way they used to get their weed.
I don't think, but honestly, I don't think that the your local dealer they're having a hard time too. Because I'm telling you, the one that came in and really messed up all of this was the fact that you could just walk into a gas station and buy it. And yes, they call it weed light, but it still gets you a buzz. You could just go, boom, get it. especially with the edibles that you can just order through the mail and it's legal. Come on.
Yeah.
I think the pushers, I think your local dealer and as well as the dispensary, I think both avenues are having a hard time.
Mm. Well, you're taking away from my story. Shush. So the lady, she's like, yeah, it's a bunch of baby boomers, yada yada. I don't see many young people come in here. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's what I see. And she's like, yeah, it's like, cause she told me, she's like, well, it's the baby boomers. We've been pushing for this change for 20 years. She's like, in the 70s, we were all smoking. And, once it became illegal, like we've all been pushing for it throughout the years and we've really made strides. And she kind of just went into like the advocacy side of it. And I was just like, right on. Like, thank you.
Right on. You ready to do the march now? You were ready to march with her? Like, yeah, let's go march.
Buzzer says, hey. How's it going, Buzz?
So yeah, it was funny because this morning you were like, so what are we going to talk about? And I was like, I have no idea. I don't know, man. It's Thursday. We're supposed to keep it light. And I'm like, the world's crumbling all around us. Markets are crashing. Inflation keeps running. It's crazy. They said inflation came out. It's like 8.5. That's the average, right? Came out Friday. It was like 8 point. No, it wasn't. Was it 8 point? No, I think it was 8.6. So it went up from the month previous, right? And so now, like, everybody's scrambling. Like the crypto crash, freaking the markets crash. The feds came out. They're like, yeah, we're raising rates by like 0.75 now. It's crazy because it's just like, I mean, I was fine because at Friday when I saw that, I was like, cash. I'm going all cash. So I'm all out. I'm out of everything right now. I'm just cash right now, just waiting.
Okay.
Waiting to see if the bottom just appears. It seems like it's endless. It's like a buffet. Endless pain. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to talk about because everybody's like, oh. You tell me, you lead the way. We talk about it.
So I started painting my fence the other day on Tuesday when we didn't do the when we didn't do the show. I started painting that. What else has happened? I feel like since we didn't do the show on Tuesday, like there's a bunch of stuff we have to catch up on.
For the week? Oh, good.
Yeah, like how was your weekend? What'd you do over the weekend?
I was with you. Man, it felt so long though. Like I was gonna tell you that on Tuesday. I was like, man, the days felt like so long. I was like, we went to was it Saturday? What was Saturday? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Saturday for Rico.
We went to the water park for your youngest birthday party, and then I was like, oh shit, because I was recapping my weekend for Tuesday's show, and I was like, oh yeah, we also went to the movies. Me and the boys went to the movies. We went to go see Top Gun. Finally, that was good.
Okay.
Hell of a sequel. Tom Cruise still got, he still got it, man. He can still hang with these like young guys. I was like, oh, dope to Tom Cruise. And then we saw the new Jurassic Park movie.
Okay. Oh, we're supposed to see that on Monday.
I was kind of disappointed with that one.
Don't tell me that.
I honestly, you should wait till it shows up on Movie Box.
No, we're actually gonna go with another family, and we told them like, hey, like you guys pay for the movie tickets, and we'll get you into the water park.
You're gonna milk that all summer long.
Hell yes, hell yes.
You're gonna be like, yo. But you know what's funny? That's how like society used to be about like, yo, who your connects were. And I know some parts it's still like that, but it seems like it's more like shady as opposed to like being open about like, look, it shouldn't just be society shouldn't just run on money. It should run on like everything else, right? But when you hear stuff like that, it's always shady, right? Like,
yeah.
Your connects.
Like your friend, like, oh, I have a connect at the movie theater. My friend works at the theater. We all get in. Like I miss those days, man. I think when I graduated high school and like everyone moved away is when I stopped watching movies because I had to start paying. I was like, I'm paying for the movie theaters.
That's when you had to be like, oh man, I gotta.
That was it. That was
how
my
much
switch.
is a ticket? That was Lynn's face. She was like, wait a minute, how much is a ticket?
We used to have $1.50 movie theater right next to us. That was like walking distance too.
Now? Yo, prices
I
of
think their
tickets now
tickets are
are
like
crazy.
$9.
No, that's if you get like the matinee discounted price. I
No, but
think a
that's at
kid's
the
ticket
no. I'm
now
talking
is
about
like
the discount theater.
$14. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a
Even the
regular
discount
ticket
theater's
now
at
is like,
14.
yeah, it's like $15, $16 for like an adult to go see a movie now.
Oh wow.
That's crazy. You know what's even crazy is like the snacks. Like it used to be like they used to have a promo. It was
Hmm.
like, popcorn and a soda was like $10.
Yeah.
Now it's like 20.
Ooh.
I think the cheapest you can get is like 15. Oh, you ever see the kids bag? The kids bags are like $7. It's like this little tiny soda and a little tiny like popcorn. It's hilarious. It's like, who's this for? 2-year-old?
Hmm.
It's freaking hilarious. Oh man, prices are going up everywhere. That's how I was like, yo, you came in clutch with with those season passes because I was like, I guess I know what I'm doing this summer.
Something to do. Yep.
Hmm.
But even
So I
even
saw,
like the gas prices going up. I heard New York has suspended their 16-cent tax on
yeah,
gas through the end of the year, but we're not
no,
seeing it.
no,
Like
you're
it's
not
not
gonna
like
see it.
gas dropped 10 cents because of this. Like
No,
we're not seeing anything.
it's like, oh, they cut you a 16 cent discount when it shot up 30 cents.
Right.
Like you're still gonna be feeling the pain. It's
Right.
like it's crazy because every time I look, it just keeps going up. There's like no
Yep.
end. It's like a buffet, endless, endless, endless gas gouging. And oh man, it infuriates me because they're all like, oh, it's not Biden's fault. It's not Biden's fault. And I'm
Hmm.
like, but everything he's done it to hinder that sector, right? So
Hmm.
how are you telling me it's not his fault? And then I was like, as much as you hate Trump, right? He would have had all the CEOs from all these like oil companies, right? He
Hmm.
would have like Exxon, Amoco, Sunoco, right? Shell, all these guys at the White House. And he was like, what do we need to do to make, prices better?
Yep.
Do we have to lax this law? Do we have to cut these corners? What we got to do? So no. There's like nothing coming from this current administration.
Hmm.
What they do keep saying is like, oh, gas prices are high. Buy an electric car. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Lynn. You can't
As though
afford
that's
gas. Get
the
an electric
answer.
car. You can't afford gasoline. Get an electric car.
Yep.
So when you getting your electric car?
Uh, Probably 2082.
Yeah, for real. But the funny thing is like if you actually wanted to get an electric car, you still got to wait like 2 years.
Yeah, it's all on back order.
Yeah.
Ah, it's
Good luck with
ridiculous.
that. Good luck with that. Which one would you get? You would get a Tesla? You would just go straight with a Tesla?
Yeah, I would. If everything aligned correctly, I'd be driving a Tesla. The big one too. I want the 7-seater.
The one with the wing doors?
Yeah.
She's like, my doors don't open like this. My doors open like
Yep.
this.
I got the Lamborghini doors.
Yeah. Yeah. If your doors don't open like this and they open like this, you ain't shit. Oh, that's hilarious.
No, I think the next upgrade on my car is going to be the power lift gate in the back. I haven't had that yet.
Ooh, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
The power lift gate? You
I
don't
feel like
have that?
every time I get a new car, I get one additional feature. So my newest feature is like the heated steering wheel. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
So
that
my
thing is
next
amazing
car,
in the
I want the
wintertime.
power lift gate.
The heating steering wheel is awesome.
It's baby steps. I can't just go
Oh,
from the
excuse
base
me.
model to like the fully loaded. I gotta just each time throw another package on there.
I think the allergies are affecting me. I gotta close that door. They're
Ooh.
coming in. So my boys, they finally got they're getting to that age now where they could do the lawn.
Hmm.
So they're out there doing the lawn, and I was like, oh my god, they're growing up so fast. But then I was like, why are you stopping? Get back to work.
No water breaks for you. What is this?
No water breaks. Keep it going. Let's go. Yeah, it looks good. I don't know if you can see it, but they started with the backyard, and then tomorrow they'll do the front lawn. I'm
Hmm.
kind of nervous because I'm like, they're just starting, so they don't know how to keep the line straight. They're missing spots. Imagine a haircut where it's like you're missing spots. That's like
Yep.
that's how my lawn's gonna look. But you know what? It's cool too because I was telling them. Remember when I was like their age and I was doing the lawn in the apartment complex they were living in?
Yep.
I was like, man, I'm so mad because I was out there for like 5-6 hours and the guy would only give me $20. So then I was like, so I quit And then he hired this other kid. The kid was like, he wanted 40, and the lawn looked all jacked. So I was like laughing hysterically. So what was your first job, Lynn? When you like your first job you remember?
My first job, I was
Oh,
I was
excuse me.
paid cash off the books.
Oh, off the books.
Um,
Okay.
I was working in a Chinese restaurant. It was like the Chinese booth in the mall, and
Oh
I
yeah.
would hold the plate of the samples, and my boss
Oh,
would
so
always
you were
yell
like
at me
free
to be
samples.
louder. Yep, he would be so mad that I wouldn't be loud, but I'd be like, "Oh my god, if I get seen doing this, it's so embarrassing back then."
Did you get
I
seen?
feel like now if I had that job, I'd be doing dances with it. I'd walk around. I'd be so friendly, walking up to people, want some samples. But
Shit, no. You would
as
have
a
to upgrade. You had to be the guy. You
teenager,
had to be the guy with the spinning sign. You
yeah.
should be the spinning sign guy. All right. I gotta blow my nose. I'm gonna put you on pulse here.
Ooh, you're gonna mute us. Oh, we don't get to see it either. We don't get the visual or the sound. Oh, it's hilarious. I worked at Chicken Out at the mall. Actually, my friend was working there off the books, and he got me the job. He's like, "Yo, you want a job?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. I need some money." And he brought me over, introduced me to the boss. The boss was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give you a job."
Man, these allergies.
Welcome back.
I'm like, now I'm making fun of you, and now look, see karma.
Yep.
Karma. No, we're not on Twitch. Lynn didn't know which one she was hitting, and so we couldn't figure out how to go live. So I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
guess we're going on Twitch. Oh, we
But
should do
no,
that.
we're only on
You
the
know
tube.
what? Yo, I heard Twitch though. Like the number one thing on Twitch is like this: just people just just talk.
Yeah.
Which is why this is what we
Just
actually
chatting.
thought about first. Yeah, was just chatting, and then we were like, well, let's go on YouTube since it's a bigger platform. We should
Mhm.
multi-stream, send it to both platforms.
We can.
Like I know there's people who do that. I think it goes against the terms of service for both companies.
No way. This is really?
Yeah, they don't like it
That's
when you
ridiculous.
multi-stream.
That's ridiculous.
But I think I don't know. Twitch is a little more sensitive with the things you say.
Mm.
I think we would get canceled really quick over there. Man, they seriously they're like they got some of like their big top like streamers
Hmm.
that like if you suspend or you do anything with this guy, you're just hurting your own revenue, and they're constantly like striking their streamers.
Mm.
And it's not just like it's both guys and gals. They're just striking everybody over there. I'm hearing constantly all the time, and it's guys like something that might be out of their control. I think the last one I heard was like there was something offensive in the chat,
Hmm.
and then the streamer got. I'm like, why? How does he control the chat?
Yeah, what the hell?
That's like us right now, right? We're on here, we're on YouTube. Chat is open. Someone could
Hmm.
just come in, right? Like that one guy who came in and Fuzz let us know. Oh wait, that's code for you to say this on the air, right? So
Yeah.
the guy could just be in chat, being obnoxious, and we get a strike for that. That's crazy. Comments are closed. You guys can't say nothing bad about us. That's hilarious. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's the reason why I kind of like. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be on Twitch.
That's why you stay away from it.
Yeah.
I just feel like if we were streaming on multiple platforms, there'd be multiple platforms we have to like maintain.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much. That's too much.
Yeah. I think we just worry about YouTube.
I
Figure this
like
shit
bare
out.
minimum. That's what I like.
Yeah, but then you're all mad. You're like, yo, we've been doing this for 42 days now, and I have not seen any growth. It's like you gotta understand if the level of effort you put into it is the level of reward you're gonna get. And honestly, this is an abundance of rewards right now. The fact that we got, Fuzz and Tris that are joining in on one, that's a blessing.
Yeah, it
I'm like
is.
amazed that we got that. because we're not putting any effort into this show. This show is off the rails. And she's like, I don't understand why I'm not diva status yet. I don't know why I can't be
That's what a lot
verified
right there.
on Twitter. I'm not verified on Instagram. Did you say like you started telling people that you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I started like telling people I'm a YouTuber. You know what?
I'm not at that level.
I failed. I went to a Bend and Blaze yesterday, and like the one girl, like she started chatting with me, telling me what she does. She's like, "Oh, what do you do?" I was like, "I'm retired." I was like, you know, like I invested in crypto, and like I'm not really doing anything right now. And then afterwards, I was like, "Shit, I'm a
You
YouTuber."
should tell her my channel.
I told her I'm a YouTuber.
I'm a YouTuber. You know what? You know what though? It's like if you actually did started doing that, right? You
Mhm.
never know. Someone might tune in like the show, and then the next thing you know, he's very like the person could be like very like social proof or whatever, like knows a lot of people, and
Yeah,
he could just start like grassrooting it, just like yo, check out the show. You never
yeah,
know. That's why like a lot of people who really start doing this, they hit it hard, man. Listen, I've seen it. I've seen YouTubers when they started out and like the level that they were doing it, like they were working their job, they were doing this, and they were just like nonstop. And I'm like, we're not at that level. We are not. They were cutting videos like every night.
oof,
And they would go to like just everywhere. Anything that they would do, the camera was with them.
yeah.
And then they were just pumping out videos like that. And then before you know it, that's when they started, finding their rhythm, getting used to doing it. Like this, like I feel like we get in our rhythm, like we could talk and we could do the show and everything, but it's like, at some point we're like, oh, all right, what do we talk about?
Yeah.
I know what I want to talk about. It's a glaring thing that's all around us that I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
that's not
But
what I
then
want
I'm
to talk
like, that's just
about.
gonna make me crazy because it's
That's
all negative all the time.
wackadoolioso. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Let
it's like
everyone else
I'm
talk
gonna
about
be
that
so
crap.
sad. I'll be so sad. I'm like, geez, this is the life that people chose.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was telling
No,
you
no,
earlier,
no.
like it makes me laugh that they keep that they're all we have an election year, right
Mm-hmm.
here in November, right? And they're like, oh, it's a red wave coming. It's a red wave coming. I'm like, that should have happened like 2 years ago. All of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided. And don't tell me no, 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 it can't be because there's states who were open throughout the whole pandemic and they're doing fine right now. And of
Yeah.
course, now all the other stuff is starting to affect them, like gas prices and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have gotten out of all this a lot better. But it is what it is. That's what I want to talk about it.
It's easy to say that. But you really don't know. You really don't know what would have happened, you know?
Nah, I know.
All we
I
know is
know. I
what
have a
did
hunch.
happen.
I have a hunch. It would have things would have been different. You know why I know things would have been different? Because there's an attitude right now that they really believe everything is fine. And it's like, how can you tell me that things are going to get better if you can't even acknowledge the problem?
Mm.
I feel like they let me rephrase this. The other administration would have no choice but to face the problem because they would have been attacked constantly by the news.
Mm-hmm.
So every question would have been about the problem. The news don't do that. The news caters and applauds, and that's why I really do feel like things are only going to get worse because nobody's calling out the problems. We call it out because we feel the problem, but they really believe like, yo, this is the best economy ever. Like, really? With inflation at
No
a 40-year
way.
high?
No way.
Really?
That's not what they believe. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. They really, go on Twitter and look at how they just tout it. And then the worst part about it is, you know, who Logan Paul is?
Nope.
He was like him and his brother were like YouTubers, and then one of them, I forgot. I think there's Logan Paul and Jake Paul, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, I believe he started like boxing, and like they were doing like, I think one of them fought like Mayweather or something like that.
Okay.
And I know one of them was on wrestling and all that. But anyway, they're like influencers, right? They're like big on YouTube and all that. He came out and he was like, yo, the high gas prices, high cost of living, crypto crashing, markets crashing. He was like, this is the worst president ever. And he called them out, and then you just see oh my god, all the berating, all the berating, and it's
Mm.
like people like, and then
They went
he's like
after him.
yeah, because the very last sentence he put, he was like, and if you voted for Biden, you're part of the problem.
Mm.
And it's like that, like just that's alarming. Like, yo, you're the problem.
Hmm.
And then like I have friends who I know voted for Biden. I'm like, yo, you think he's doing a good job? And then sure enough, oh yeah, things would have been worse. Oh yeah, things would have been worse. Oh yeah, he's doing an awesome job, doing a
Mm.
great job, doing a great job. And I'm like,
Mm.
seriously, seriously, because I'm not. I look at him when he talks, and I'm like, I'm just not seeing it. Point me in the right direction so I can see what he's doing. That's a great job. Because when I see it, I'm like, man, Mr. Magoo.
I mean, you've got to give it to them though that all they're doing is repeating what they're hearing.
That
And
is,
if you
they're
said
all in
like
echo
if you said
chambers.
that's
Yeah,
what if that's what they're the message that they're putting out there that this
yep,
administration's great, they're doing this, they're
yep.
doing that.
And then like a parrot. Yep, because they're all in that echo chambers. They're all in the same. The thing is like they don't branch out of their own little group.
Hmm.
So their whole group would be like, yo, everything is fine, even though everything's on fire around them.
Right.
And it's like I don't understand that because it's like everything is on fire around you. Did you hear the latest news that there's going to be a tampon shortage?
No.
Yeah.
Shiitake
And
mushrooms.
they're saying that's what's going to cause women to vote Republican this year.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. And I don't, honestly, that's not even, you know what that is? That's his mind is slipping. And I get it. He's getting old. It's like when you get old, you should be talking about gibberish. Like Simpsons, Grandpa Simpson,
Hmm.
or even the weird cat lady in the Simpsons. That's Biden, bro. He's just like all over the place. Like he
Oh
should
my
not
God.
be in the biggest. Not only should he not be in the biggest like job in America right now, right? But he shouldn't be holding that chair in the most worst time in America right now. It's like, oh my God, this is crazy. Uh, I don't know. And you know what's crazy? The weird part about it is like he won not because he was liked and not because everybody was like, oh, I like Biden, he's strong enough for the job. Pretty much people voted because they were against Trump, right? So people
Hmm.
voted was like, I'm gonna vote and I'm gonna vote for anything but Trump, right? You could have
Right.
put a potato and these people would have voted for a potato because it wasn't Trump, right?
Hmm.
And so even then, fast forward to where we are now, I would hope that those people would realize, man, I made a mistake. You know, I still don't want Trump, but maybe we should have gotten somebody better than, Mr. Magoo. I don't know. I don't know because I still see it. I feel like these people are really like they're standing by it with a conviction. I feel you know what they are. They remind me of the Titanic. The Titanic sailing,
Hmm.
freaking sinking. It's like this at this point, right? And they're the like the orchestra still playing the music on the boat as it's going down.
So Fuzz says he can't wait for Bo Biden's widow, the tell-all book. And Trish said that inner growth, guys, that's what you've achieved so far. Followers will come in time. And you know
Amen.
what? That's what we're
Thank
holding
you,
on to.
Tris.
Thank you,
Thank
Trish.
you.
Yeah.
Because you know what? When we did start it, we were rough. And honestly, I think like going back to what Tris said, I do want to really like capitalize more on the fact that we do know how to see things differently, you know?
Mhm.
Like we do have a way of being able to because I know Lynn went through it as I do, and I know I'm kind of talking in code right now, but just like our life experiences, just the stuff that we've been put up against. Like I know, like a normal person, I'm not tooting our horn. It sucked that we went through shit like that, but I know a normal person would have been broken by that, and
Mhm.
we're just like, you know what, we're stronger for it. And so I do want to find that, but I feel like we're like losing topics or ways to approach that. But another thing too is I noticed that a lot of channels they do tend to repeat themselves over and over. It's like that's their mantra, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do feel like we are growing, right? We are able to hold a conversation now. We're able to do the show for an hour or two, which in the beginning we were struggling, right? Oh
Mhm.
no, I'm knocking the camera around. We're figuring things out. I think we just got to figure out how do we stay consistent with our message and what our message is.
Mhm.
Because I feel like Lynn is the same way too. Because I'm like, yo, you decide a topic today. You're like, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. And so I'm like, you going to leave it on me then? Because I don't know. In a way, I'm kind of like frustrated because I feel like all of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided. And I was trying to tout that message, back before the election. I was
Yeah,
posting. I was trying to
you were a
convince
huge
people.
Trump supporter
I was trying to tell people like, yo, think,
from
look
the
outside the
jump,
box.
from
Look
the
outside the
beginning,
box.
day
Yeah.
one.
But that's because I saw what they were doing to him. Like I said, I could see him talk. I could see what
Mhm.
he said, and then I could see how the media would take what he said and manipulate it.
Yeah, and just
They
take
would
it out
take
of
things out of
context.
context,
Yeah.
and then they would put their opinions on it, and then they would like once again, they would constantly be holding like they would keep launching attacks on this guy to hold him accountable for whatever they wanted to hold him accountable for.
Mhm.
Whereas they're throwing like softballs at Biden right now, and they're not holding him accountable for anything.
Mm.
Like right now, he's pleading with the oil companies, like, yo, let's do something about lowering these prices. It's
Mhm.
like now, when prices were going up since day one that he got into office,
Yeah.
and now he's like, oh, we're in a crisis. Oh, let's do something now. I don't know. And
It's very reactive versus being
mm-hmm.
proactive.
And like and this is what I pose to a lot of my friends because I talk to them, who did voted for him, and I'm like, look, if there's anything, any shred of evidence, anything that you could show me that says, hey, he did this and it's good for this reason, show it to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm willing to see that because if I have the wrong opinion of him because of this, the same thing that happened to Trump, I'm open to see that awakening when it comes to this guy.
Mhm.
But I don't see it. I just see things getting worse and worse and worse. And like every time you think like, oh, we're out of something, something new pops up. Like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, the baby formula, they started talking to the manufacturers and seeing how they can open up more. Now we got a tampon shortage. I'm like, oh my God. It's like everything is like I'm telling you, by this winter, all we're gonna have to eat is tuna and rice.
We're not even gonna have tuna. There's a cat food shortage.
Hmm. Hmm. Stock up on food now. This is what I've been doing.
Assuming they come from the same factory, you know.
Yo, stock up on food now. That's what I've been doing. I'm in like, getting my
Yeah, we did it
pantry.
too. We have a couple extra bags of rice, couple extra
Yup.
boxes of pasta, the stuff that that
Mm-hmm.
stays on your shelf for a while.
A while and just stock up.
Hmm.
If you got space for that stuff, stock it up because
Yeah, because you
I
never
don't
know.
listen.
You
I
never
don't know
know.
where it's gonna
Start
go.
growing some potatoes. I'm growing potatoes now.
However, I am optimistic when I hear things like that. Exactly what you just said. A
But
lot of
I'm
people are
growing
starting.
potatoes.
Yeah, it's that human drive to succeed, right? So it's like at
Hmm.
some point, a lot of people are waking up and they're realizing, like, yo, the government is failing me.
Hmm.
And that's what I notice a lot with my friends too. Like a lot of my friends who are like diehard defending Joe, they really are built into the system. Like they really think the government's going to save them. And
Hmm.
that's another thing that I kind of try to tell them is like, yo, why do you want all this government oversight when the government is not doing anything?
Hmm.
Like the big argument is like, oh well, taxes. We got to tax the rich. And I'm like, why do you care? Like, why do you want this money, right? When the money that they currently have, it's being misused.
Hmm.
Like we're sending billions over to Ukraine. We're sending billions over to, for the weirdest things. Like you see these bills and they're like billions for transgender reassignment or and training. I'm like, why are we spending money on that when literally we're hurting everywhere we go? Like I don't understand that. Like why aren't we taking care of Americans first?
Yeah. I mean, another thing we have to work on is, like it was the lyrics in a song that, like, why don't we have an app on our phone that like designates like where my money is going? Like, why can't I choose the bills that I want to
Exactly.
support?
Right. Right.
Like
Because
maybe I want to choose like what things are going to be happening in my community that's going to be affecting me and my family.
right, exactly. So like a lot of people are like, yo, don't you like driving on roads? Taxes go for roads. And I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
need roads. I'll put money for roads. But then guarantee that a lot of these parents are going to be like, why should I fund the local school program when my kid keeps coming home and saying, I hate myself, I think I need to become, a woman, or I hate myself because I'm white, or like all this stuff that the school programs are doing. If your
Mm-hmm.
kid comes home and they're like, yo, this is what they're teaching me in school, you should be able to go on that app and instantly say, defund, like, I'm not sending my money over there.
Yeah.
Like, you missed getting my money this year.
Mm-hmm.
I want
On
a
a
receipt from
receipt
the
from the
government. Yeah,
government.
me too, Fuzz. Me
Yeah.
too. I want a
Where's
30-day
money
return
going?
policy. Like, listen, Walmart and Amazon got some amazing return policies, and our government doesn't have any. Like, how do we hold our government accountable? And
Mm-hmm.
then at this point, like, I don't even want to hold them accountable. At this point, I want them out of my life. And I'm like, look, get out of
Mm-hmm.
my life and let me get out of my way, because I know me and like-minded people like me, we're going to find a way to survive, aka what Lynn is doing, where she's growing potatoes.
Yeah.
She's like, look, I have the will to survive. And that's what a lot of people don't have. A lot of people don't have the will to survive. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people have that, like, I'm a victim and I need the government to take care of me and I need the government intervention. Poor me, let's tax the rich. It's unfair. Me. Like, yo, all that is just freaking noise. Like, exactly what Lynn is doing is like, look, if I can't get this, I'm going to figure out how to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with the toilet paper shortage, right? A lot of people are like, oh my God, oh, get on my. Yo, did you see those videos of people fighting for toilet paper? I was like, oh my God, what's this world going to? That was freaking hilarious. Because I'm like, you guys
That was
can't just wash your
2020,
ass?
man. That was oh my gosh, what was it for? I don't remember what it was, but I did a craft and I put 2020 on it, and instead of zeros, I put rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah. People just fighting. Like, yeah, it was like really going hardcore. Yo, it reminded me of those videos of people going crazy for Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fighting for their tom-toms. but it was like, yo, they were fighting for toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine when there's no food on those shelves?
Yeah.
The
And
craziness
of
that
course,
people
you
are
saw
going.
people too, like when the toilet paper shortage hit, like you saw people going into the store and buying everything on the shelf. Like, come on,
Yeah,
come on.
being greedy.
Yeah,
Yep.
like grab a couple extra, but don't clear them out. You're not the
Mm-hmm.
only one who's like, oh my God, I need TP.
But once again, that's what happens when people get pushed up against the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you could kind of gauge and see how people are, or how people are going to react. The people who are pushed up against the wall, right, who are like, oh, I got to get this now because they're panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other people started thinking outside the box. It's like, yo, why are people freaking out about toilet paper? I just order a bidet from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need toilet paper. Like, I'll get through until it's restocked, right?
Right.
And I thought, man, it was crazy because we shop at like Dollar Tree and Dollar General because those are like the closest stores to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go there, and people were losing their shit there too. Like, there would be a sign, and then some lady would walk. A lady came in, she's like, "Is it restocked yet?" And the lady was like, "Yeah, in the back." And then she could like pass by through everybody, storming to go get it, like a little 4-pack. I was like, "Really? You need toilet paper that much?" Like, it's crazy.
If you were doing it right to begin with, you would already have TP in the house. Yo, I didn't buy no
For
TP when
real.
everyone was
I
panicking. I
didn't
was like,
either.
no need, no need.
No, because I get the big pack, and I'm
Jeez.
like, "Yo, I'm good for a
Heck
minute."
yeah. When you're like halfway through it, you get another one. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
But it's like I just and these are the same people that's just gonna make like they're gonna put those kinks in the system. So
Mm-hmm.
when things start to come back, it's gonna get even worse. I'm seeing pictures. Look, I haven't really been to Walmart. I haven't really walked into a Walmart in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm seeing pictures that Walmart now has security system, like a security alarm on
Mm-hmm.
steaks.
No way.
So they have it on the pack
I
of
mean,
meats, the
steak,
the
let me
little
tell you,
alarm
steak is
system.
crazy expensive right now. It is. The price of meat in
It's
general
crazy.
shot up. Except
Yeah.
pork. Pork is still really cheap. And that makes me like wonder, like, should I really be eating this
Is it
stuff?
really pork? It's rat meat.
Yeah. So all right. But that's crazy. They put little alarms on them.
Yeah, they have like like the anti-theft alarms where they put
Yeah.
it's not the ones like the ones you find on clothes. It's the one where it's like the little black wire and then you
Right. That
clip
goes
it
all
and
the
it
way
has the little
around.
box. Yeah, they got that on the meat. I'm seeing the pictures of
That's
that on
ridiculous.
memes and shit. I'm like, are you serious? They're doing this now? I mean, it could be Photoshop. I'll put that caveat out there because I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious. I kind of want to go to Walmart now and check to see. Like, it's really that bad. And I'm like, I don't.
I mean, that's
And
probably like an inner city Walmart. I feel like that's not gonna be your Walmart in the sticks. Like, come
Well,
on.
talk about the inner city now. And this is another thing. Like, I don't know why Walgreens is still open in like inner cities, but like
Mhm.
it's always a Walgreens where people just walking in and just stealing everything in Walgreens.
No
Like,
way.
there's constant videos of that I'm constantly seeing on YouTube and Twitter where people just
Mhm.
walk in and they're just like taking everything off the shelves. And I'm like, I see this and I'm like, things are like this bad now. Wait till things get worse.
Oof, that's a scary thought.
What's gonna happen when like it looks like gas is not stopping anytime soon. So by
Mhm.
the end of the summer, we could be seeing an easy, $6-7 a gallon, right? What's gonna happen when people can't afford to go to work
Mhm.
because gas is too high? Or they choose to go to work, they spend gas and they can't buy food.
Mm. Well, I
And it,
mean,
and it,
I've seen a few those clickbait things where it's like, oh, talks about another round of rebate checks. Is that gonna help for the gas
no, that's
prices?
don't do
And
that. Don't
there's
do
a lot
that.
of things out there that are like, oh, like even with food stamps, my girlfriend gets food stamps, and like
I
they're
know they
getting out
jacked that up.
extra food stamps in the
Yeah.
summertime
Hmm.
for because they're not doing like the free lunch programs because of
Hmm.
COVID.
But what we don't need is another stipend because listen, the first time that happened back in 2000, there's no such thing as free money. That's
Right,
what put us in this mess right now. Like
right.
the money machine can't keep printing. We can't
Hmm.
keep printing out dollars. At some point, that has to catch up. Like you're devaluing the dollar. That's why we have inflation,
Yeah.
right? It's like we can't keep printing that out. We just gotta find solutions for our problems. And where does it start? Where does it go? I don't know. I don't know. To be honestly, for me, I think the best way to do it is start talking to your neighbors, start talking to a community. Like with me, I got a buddy who's a survivalist, right? And so I started, I'm asking him questions. He's putting me onto things like, oh, get this, look into that, do that. So I'm, doing that. And I know, like I'm gonna start going to their meetings. They meet up like once a month, and they, do all kinds of prep stuff. So I'm gonna do
Hmm.
that because I'm like, oh, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, that's a network. Like, okay, hey, here's people in time of need. Hey, what can I bring? What can I bring to the table? That's another thing. Like, trade's going to be really, really big.
Hmm.
Like just trading, like bartering with people.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people are like, oh, buy gold, buy gold. No, what you need now is buy ammo, water, food.
Hmm.
That's what you're gonna want to trade with. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. For a while, I saw a shortage in certain bottled waters. Um, a lot of like the pouch juices for kids were
Hmm.
back stock for a while. And that was across brands. It was just like if they have like Capri Suns, you have the Kool-Aids, and they all come in the pouches. Those were
Right.
all sold out. So it is like it's been like waves of things throughout the last year or so that have been
Comes and goes.
yeah. Yeah, and it's throughout stores too, because like with us having so many grocery stores, I usually go to different grocery stores different weeks.
Mhm.
Um and it's throughout these stores. Like they're all having the same shortages.
Right. I think it's funny when you hear the people who have like electric cars and they're like, "Oh, I don't feel the gas prices. I
Hmm.
got an electric car." I'm like, you're a liar. You're feeling
Hmm.
the prices anyway because fuel is still being used by these trucks,
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's
and if
everywhere. That's the reason
diesel
why
keeps
everything is
going
going
up,
up.
your
Hmm.
food's gonna go up. So you're lying.
Oh my God, groceries are expensive. Even eating out, the prices have
Oh yeah.
skyrocketed.
Oh yeah, and I love doing that
Oh
because I love
man.
just one day,
I
hey,
think
let's order
the
this.
I think the most cost effective way to eat out right now is either pizza. Pizza's always a good one.
Pizza's still like a
Or
$20. That's crazy.
Chinese
That's like
food.
plain pie.
Anything outside of that, it's like you're gonna spend $80.
Yeah, yeah. It's and like I said, I don't me personally, and I would love to see anybody who could show me like, yo, things are gonna get better. But I
Hmm.
don't see it. That's why the stock market doesn't see it. That's why the stock market is tanking. And that's supposed to be the gauge of everything. Housing market is starting to take a hit now, right?
Hmm.
Because loans, I think the housing loans are going up, like your mortgage rates are
Yeah.
starting to go up. So that market is going to cool off soon. So I don't
Dude,
know, man.
I looked online because I check every now and then for like house prices and stuff. Yo, I could sell my house for like double what I bought it for right now.
Yeah.
And it's holding strong. And I'm like,
But
but
what would you
if I
buy?
sell my house, where the hell
Where
am I
would you live?
going?
Yeah, where
Exactly.
would you
That's
live?
my issue. You know, I'm not going to go back to
And good luck.
renting. Buying another house is going to be more expensive. So right now is not the time.
Right now, honestly, right now, a lot of people are like what I'm hearing too is a lot of people are priced out of homes. Like they're priced out, like they've been house shopping for a while, and they're like,
Hmm.
there's nothing that's showing up within their price range.
Oof.
So what's really happening, and it's weird to me because these are the groups that will vote blue, but
Uh-huh.
these are the ones that are getting like shitted on the most. Like the poor class, the poor are getting poorer, and now the middle class is starting to move more towards being poor. So it's
Mm.
like it's closing that gap of what was considered middle class, and you're living decent. You're
Hmm.
now living subpar because everything is getting expensive.
Yeah.
Like the middle class are being pushed out of being able to buy a home, and
Mm.
that's I don't know. We're all gonna be living in pods. That's what Fuzz said, right? A few episodes ago. We're all gonna be living in pods.
Yep.
Five
$5 a
dollars a plain
plain
slice of
slice?
pizza in Brooklyn. Yep.
Holy crap.
That's
Holy
about that's
crap.
about the slice. Not plain. You can get like a specialty, but it's like $6 over here.
Hmm.
I think a
Which is
plain is like
crazy
$4.
expensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what?
Which
At that
I don't
point,
know.
just buy the pie. That's how I feel. Just
At
buy the
that
damn
point,
pie.
but my
It's
question
20
is,
bucks.
how does two brothers stay profitable?
Man, because they're all cash. They're selling a whole lot
I
more
think there's a front.
pizzas than they're
They're
letting you
front.
know.
I think you
Than
would
they're
go over
letting
to something
on.
else because they're always expanding. They're like, oh yeah, we're hiring.
They always have a new location.
Hmm. And then you're hearing like companies starting to lay off. That's the scary part.
Mm,
It's like when companies start to say like we're gonna lay
yeah,
off 1,000 people. I'm like, oh damn.
yeah.
Like we're gonna be stagnant for a while, and it's like I started looking for a job. I was like, you know what? Let me put myself out there and see what's out there.
Hmm.
Because
Hey, Tadashi's back.
hey, what up, brother?
Hey, we're
Welcome
doing
back to
all
the
right.
show.
Welcome
We're
back.
doing
Thanks for
good.
checking
You
back
hanging in
in.
there?
What? Get out. So a plain pie is $35 for a square and $30 for a round. That's in Brooklyn. That's insane.
Yeah,
$35.
yeah.
Holy crap. That's
And listen, I'm not shocked by that. I'm like, yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. I can
I
believe
get
that.
so mad. I get so mad that, a pie, like a large pie, maybe one topping delivered is like $22. And I'm like, ugh, that's so much money.
But
$35. Holy crap.
yeah, I got a pie because I was busy doing something last night, so I couldn't really like stop to make dinner for the boys. So I
Hmm.
just went ahead and ordered our pizza, and it came out to like $20, a plain pie, a large plain pie, 20
Yep.
bucks. Oh, the
Rock
Rock
says
says
hello
hi. What
also.
up, Rocky?
So,
What's the Rock's name? We got to make sure we address the Rock.
The Rock.
The
The,
Rock.
the Rock. No, I thought his name was
Yeah.
Stone. His name is Stone.
Sylvester Stallone, Sly Stallone, Sly Stone, Sly Stone. Yeah, that's right. He was like, I have a rock, and his name is Stone.
Yeah.
Welcome
And
back
I'm
to
the
the
one who
show,
never
my
remembers
brothers.
anything.
Hmm?
And I'm the one who never remembers anything.
I don't remember shit, bro. That's why at the end of every show, I'm like, yo, this is a great show. Because I don't remember what I was ranting. I didn't rant. This is like therapy for me. It's like, woosah, everything's going to get better. He is her brother. Who,
He's
me?
his brother.
I'm your brother. I'm your brother.
Yes, we are
Or he
siblings.
got another rock. Oh, your rock's multiplying?
Oh, Stone is sister of Rock. So
Okay.
there's Rock and there is Stone.
And what
Yeah,
about
they're
the little one,
multiplying
Pebble?
over there. They're like rabbits.
Yeah.
Careful, man.
You
Be
get a little.
careful.
You need a little one. You need Pebble. Pebbles. That was the name of in the Flintstones.
Yeah, the daughter.
Yeah. And Bam Bam. Bam Bam. Good cartoons. Hmm. Yeah, like I said, anybody who wants to send me anything on how things are getting better, that'd be great. So I can be more optimistic. And be like, oh man. And it's sad because I don't want to be like this, but it's like I gotta be realistic too. I'm like, yo, everything, yo,
But you know what?
we got
Things
to
are
work
getting
out.
better. Things are getting better in ways that we're not talking about. Like, for example, small businesses, like people who are now, turning to entrepreneurship because they see that, like, hey, this whole 9 to 5 thing isn't servicing them anymore.
Well, that's
There
one thing
is
I
there
did
is
see.
good out there, like YouTube giving you like a platform where you can express yourself and you can, create communities. There are good things that are going on in the midst of all this.
I did see a lot of more jobs are offering remote positions, which is kind of cool,
Hmm.
where people can then have that work-life balance and work from home. There was
Hmm.
one website that I started looking at, which is called shoot, what's it called?
Hmm.
Overemployed.com, where it's people who are working remote jobs, but now they take on two jobs. So they're getting that double payment. So it's helping them, like, yeah, they're stressed with more work, but they're saving money and they're getting themselves financially free,
Hmm.
which that's the ultimate freedom, right? Financial freedom.
Right.
Being able to do whatever you want with your money, not owing, money to Visa or the debt collectors, the bank or anything like that.
Hmm.
That's another thing. Like people don't understand. Like when they get these credit cards and they get these home loans and all this stuff, like they're not realizing that they're being like an indentured servant to the people who they owe money to.
Hmm.
So I mean, like you said, there are opportunities and you got to see it. Like I do see a lot of people are waking up to the bullshit that is all around us.
Hmm.
People are waking up to the media. People are waking up to the government. People are waking up to, all this like, programming that they're trying to do in the classrooms, the programming that they're trying to do in colleges. Like a lot of people are waking up to that stuff. And I do applaud that, but I feel like it's too late. I feel like we're still in this jam. Like we're going to be hurting for a while now.
Yeah, but I don't know. At the end of the day, everything works out. Everything works out. Like it's
For me,
stressful.
it
Everyone's
does.
upset, but at the end of
For
the
me,
day,
it
it'll
does.
all work
Everything works
out.
out. But I'm not fighting for me. I'm fighting for,
It's
my
another
fellow man.
another mountain that has to be climbed.
Look, I know for me and you, we're blessed. Like I know we're gonna look because we've lived through one. We lived through 2008 when the markets
Hmm.
crashed and everything was like crazy. We lived
Hmm.
through that. We lived through it fine. I'm telling you, like me and Lynn, we've been through some hard shit in our lives, and we came out on top. But we have that mindset to keep, going through.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad for a lot of people that if they would just wake up, they would see things a lot differently,
Hmm.
and they would be empowered to make a change. But I like to see that a lot of other people are getting involved in politics. People who are like, you know what, I was kind of driven to this because of everything that's going on.
Hmm.
They're like, I ran for my local thing and I won. Look at Texas. What was it? It was a female Republican. She was like the first female Republican to come out and win that election. In like so many years.
Hmm.
It was like a Democratic, part of Texas, and she won it.
Nice.
So it's cool, but it's like I don't know. Like I feel like all of this could have been avoided.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard to, hold on to like, oh, well, what if, and what we could have or what we should have done. The fact is, like, this is where we are, and we have to just kind of look at it as, all right, where is the light at the end of the tunnel? Who is reaching for that light? Who's working towards that light?
Yeah, and Tadashi just nailed it. What you just said. He said, "Earning money is an easy task. You just have to
Hmm.
start doing something." Amen.
Mm,
Amen. And you just got to be consistent with that.
yeah.
You got to be consistent with that. And that's one thing that I've been kind of motivating myself right now is like, yo, I've been through predicaments where I went to school, I learned something, I learned a skill set, and then I put myself out there and I hustled and I got that job. I'm like,
Hmm.
look, there's money to be made. And I'm like, I'm not hurting right now, right? I'm doing great. But if I can earn more money, shit, why not,
That'd be
right? Like you
nice.
said, that disposable income.
That'd be
And we were
nice.
talking about it on Saturday. And I was like, man, I do kind of miss that disposable income.
Hmm.
So like, why don't I put myself out there? If I was gifted, you know, with what I have, let me take it to the max.
Yep.
But yeah, that's why I rock with our yo. I love you guys because you guys all have that mindset, and stay motivated, stay out there, keep hustling right now because where a lot of people find it like, oh, it's dark times and oh my god, it's everything's doom and gloom. You guys got to find the opportunities, and the opportunities are going to present themselves. You guys just got to take it head on, you know?
Yeah.
Tadashi said, when I was in Japan, our school has started a challenge to convert 1 yen to 100 yen, and we all made more than 100 plus. Oh, man, I
That's
wish our
awesome.
schools would teach that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing, like investing,
Hmm.
you know? That's the two things that I wish school would teach us is like how to avoid getting yourself in debt or
Hmm.
understanding like the risks you take with debt and then how to make your money grow for you. And of course, they don't teach us that in public schools. Where do they teach that? They
Right.
teach that in private schools where you already have money to pay to get into that, right?
Hmm.
Then they teach you about Wall Streets and the in and out of Wall Street and, you know, the just a typical like supply and demand. Like when I heard the concept of supply and demand, that thing was like, I was like, oh, wow, that really makes sense.
Yeah.
Hence why toilet paper was gone. I
Hmm.
don't know why demand was so high,
Yeah. I
but
wasn't
hey,
introduced to supply
supply
and demand
wasn't
until college.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And so you think like all these people like, you know, when you're young, people ask you like, what is it that you want to be when you grow up, right? And of course, when you're young, you don't know.
Hmm.
You're very idealistic, and I love that about the youth. However, nobody ever tells you, hey, supply and demand. Like, look, that's great that you want to be that, but that's not in high demand,
Hmm.
right? There's an abundance of people that are doing that. So you're gonna get paid lower. And people don't understand that. So they go in there, follow this school, they get themselves upside down in debt, and then next thing
Hmm.
you know, there's no demand for what they learned. So that's why if anybody's watching this, if you guys want to make a killing right now, you want to make six-figure salary, cloud security, cloud computing, cloud computers, Amazon Cloud, Google Cloud. Learn that, get a cert, get a job. It's in high demand. That's it. You can do it from home. Get 2 jobs, double dip, buy a house. If you get if the houses around you are priced, I don't know. Like we said, the houses are priced out.
Hmm.
Oh, I gotta scroll up on the comments.
Well, I pulled this one up from Tadashi. So Japan education system is best. That's why they have lots of companies, like lots of startups. And it's true. Like it's something that, from the outside looking in at Japan, like they still have strong values, strong
They do.
morals. Like they still have, like you should respect your elders and
Mm-hmm.
you're expected to carry the family's
They actually
like
the
you
name,
take
the
pride in
legacy.
being part,
Yep.
yeah, the legacy,
Mm-hmm.
part of the family.
And a lot of the stuff, a lot of the stuff that we talked about on this channel, they actually still do that in Japan. Like we said, multi generation should live in the same house. They
Hmm.
do that in Japan. Like they have, uh, grandpa, the grandchildren, the wife and husband and wife in the same
Hmm.
home. They all have them all multi generations in the same home.
Yeah. It's a
Very
beautiful
big on
thing.
education, very big as far as like driving where you're gonna go with your career. Same thing
Hmm.
with Indian culture from India.
Yeah.
Same way, same way. And I have a couple of friends who are Indian, and they have the arranged marriages and all of that, and I applaud all of that.
Hmm.
All of it to me makes sense, and it's like the stuff that we do as the Western culture and Americanized. A
Hmm.
lot of it doesn't make sense because to me, a lot of it is like we're empowering that selfishness.
Yes.
And when you're selfish, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help yourself and it doesn't help your family. It doesn't help anybody. India, yep. In Japan, India, or most of Asia, living with family is traditional. Yeah. And I applaud that. I applaud that because that's like look, life is gonna be rough. And for you to do it alone because you think that that's the way to do it, like we're supposed to have all the answers and have it all solved when we're 18. That
Hmm.
doesn't make any sense here in America. Like, oh, you gotta go. And it's like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like there's a lot of it's not just being book smart. There's like a lot of life experience you gotta, go through an experience.
Yes.
So when you could talk to somebody who's done it, been there and done it, right? This is what they call a mentor. And that's one thing I could stress to somebody. It's like, yo, if you find yourself stuck, find yourself a mentor.
Hmm.
Find yourself a mentor, somebody who's been there, done it, and can kind of guide you through. Listen, you're gonna go through your own mistakes. You're gonna go through your own, but he can kind of guide you. You know what it is? It's like you sailing out on the open seas and it's like a rough weather, and you're like, oh shit, and then you call on the radio, and like you got the Coast Guard guy. And he's like, all right, listen, what you want to do is you want to pull it in, you want to do this, and that's what a mentor is, right? Kind of guiding you through the storm. And unfortunately, we're not like that as Americans. We think we got to do everything on our own.
Yeah.
And like we're chasing off after all these titles and accolades and all these trinkets and shiny objects and a carrot dangling on the stick. And it's like, that's not where the value lies. The value lies in family. And then after family, the value lies in what? Community. So yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Don't experience something completely new, or if you want peace, go to India. Best place. Himalaya. Wow.
Actually, I've been looking. A lot of people were saying like, there are places you can move to, right? And you can with 400K, you can be like a king, right? And like I've heard a lot of people are doing that, especially a lot of single guys who are kind of giving up with like the whole dating market here in the States. They busted their ass, they got that money saved up, and then they'll just go and they'll live over there. And then there's like such strong family values over there, right? They do find a wife, and they're more content.
Yeah.
Than with the way we treat relationships here in society, here in the Western culture. It's like, you're kind of dipping into the next one. You're like, well, the next one will be better, and the next one will be better, and the next one will be better.
And Ecuador is a good
place for Americans. Yep. Latin America, I totally agree with that. It's funny because this is all the stuff that I've been hearing in my men's group as far as these guys. These guys are making good money, and they're just not, they're not guys in IT. Some guys are in IT, but you guys got like, guys who are like engineers. There was this one guy who actually works for like the oil company. Like he does like the actual piping and stuff like that, and it's a dangerous job, so he's getting paid like really good money. Another job I heard that pays really well is the guys who goes up the poles and they do all the electrical wiring.
Yes.
Those guys get paid bank.
Yeah. So I have a friend whose husband, he's like a big, like 6-foot dude. He's wide and like he started working for them a couple years ago. And he said like during their training, they were like, all right, you guys have to climb up one of these poles. And like everyone else in the class couldn't do it. Like they were like, nah, we're not gonna do that. And he just went right up it. He was like, all right, I guess I'm climbing this pole today. And
think about when those guys are actually climbing those poles. Most of the time, those guys are climbing those poles when it's bad weather outside.
Yeah.
Right? Storm just knocked out this pole. I gotta climb up. I gotta replace this, capacitor up here, or whatever.
Yeah, right? It's definitely one of those demanding jobs that not a lot of people want to do.
These guys are making bank. And one, they don't owe any debt, right? Because they didn't have to go to college for it. They just learned the training or whatever. They're making buku money. They're single. So they're saving all this money. And then finally they're like, look, I have that life calling. I want kids. I want a wife. I want kids. I want family. I have that calling in me. Because honestly, if you ask me, Ray, what's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to continue life. That to me, that's the number one meaning of life. And then the second part, once you create life, the second part is to
appreciate that life, man.
It's to elevate yourself from your physical form to your spiritual form, right? Because you're going to die eventually. So you got to elevate yourself to that next level, right? But in your physical form, the number one goal is to make life, to continue the whole cycle, yes? So these guys, they have that natural calling, and a lot of these guys are like, yo, I'm thinking about moving to Mexico. I'm thinking about moving down to Latin America. I'm thinking about moving to Thailand. I'm thinking about moving to, the Pacific area. I'm thinking about, like, a lot of these guys are thinking about it, and they got the money saved up.
Yeah.
And everybody in the community are like, do it, because Western culture.
Man, you got to introduce me to your men's group.
Hell no, you're too toxic for the group.
I need to like meet some of these guys, man.
Hell no, you're too toxic. Fuzz calls you out on it too. He's like, Lynn likes danger. No, you like to be around Tyrone, Ray Ray, Pookie, and Ray Ray. No. All
right, so Tadashi lives for 5 months in Himalayas. It completely changed him. Okay. He started a monastery, best people. I learned to do meditation. Ooh, meditation's a difficult one. I've been working on that one. I used to fear death after I no more fear death.
Hey, oh my God. Hey, man, brother. I love that comment, because there's a lot of people who are scared of dying.
Yeah, it's a
And it's
part
like
of
that's a full
life.
circle. This is
I have
where,
that fear. Shit, I don't want to go. Don't
but
take
that's
me
the,
yet.
but listen, that's the point of life. Like the first
Yeah,
part of life, you already did. You created life.
yeah.
The next part of life, what I was saying is you got to now embrace death.
Hmm.
That's what life is all about. So like the first part, you make babies, right? You have plenty of babies. You keep that life going. Elon Musk said it, right? He was like, we need more people. We don't need less people. We need
Hmm.
more people. He's like, I love making babies, right? Because that's what life is. And then the second part of life is you got to now embrace, that your physical form is going to fail, but that doesn't end the blessing. You continue afterwards.
Hmm.
So you got to be looking forward to that afterlife, right? And as you make that progression to the afterlife, that's where you start passing down your wisdom.
Yeah.
That's when you start being the wise, and you're like, I'm ready. Don't worry, don't cry for me when I die because I'm ready. I'm elevated. I elevated myself. And if you believe in God, that's when you start talking to God, and that's when you embrace, like, yo, I'm coming. Because I
Yeah.
know that, like, look, listen, if you believe in God, and you know, like, all right, God, you bless me with this physical form, I know you're gonna bless me in the afterlife. And then some people, they believe in heaven and all that. I just believe my energy keeps going. I have a soul. I see my soul, and I believe that my soul keeps going.
Hmm.
Where? I don't know. We shall see. But I'm not scared of that. And my man Tadashi, and I love his photo. Pull his comment back up because I love his photo because I was looking at it. Look at his photo. My man is on, what is it? Is he sailing?
Yeah,
He's
but it
like
doesn't look like
sky.
he's on
Yeah, he's
water. It
sailing
looks
and
like he's
everything. He's
on
just living
snow. I'm so
life.
confused.
I don't know what it is, but it looks dope. Like he's windsurfing, he's
Hmm.
he's skiing, whatever he's doing, but he's out there living life, man. And that's what it is. Like sometimes we get tripped up in here. We gotta let go of that sometimes.
Hmm.
And we just gotta turn off all the noise and be like, yo, this is my calling, this is what I gotta do. I gotta do it.
Yeah. He says, end of something is the start of something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
Fuzz, if he had to leave America, he'd move to Lunana, in the country of Bhutan.
Mm.
He has that exit plan. He's like, yo, if I gotta go, that's where I'm
And
going.
I'm telling you, a lot of guys, and look, listen, I'm only talking for men because that's who I'm talking to. I'm a man, I'm
Hmm.
talking to other men, right? In my men's group. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the same for women, right? But a lot of guys are just like, yo, I'm sick and tired of this. Like, first off, we get, in society, in the Western society, we get shitted on, right?
Hmm.
We're disposable. We're used for like, you talk about equality, but who's taking out the trash? Who's drilling this oil? Who's working these these Minecrafts, these mine
He's a
shafts, right?
bicep.
Who's
Yeah.
who's working the dirty jobs that women are not fighting for?
Right.
So it's selective. So when something is selective, then to me that's just like women are just doing it just for attention. They're not really trying to go for equality. Because if they were like, yo, I want to be a garbage woman.
Hmm.
I want to change the laws on who gets drafted because equality, right? So a lot of these guys, they see all this stuff in society, they see on TV, they're getting shitted, like we're constantly getting shitted on and emasculated on TV, right? So a lot of these men, they're just like, I'm tired of it. I want out.
Mm.
I want to go somewhere where I will be treated like a man. Like I will be part of society. I will be accepted as a man. So I know Fuzz has his exit strategy because a lot of these guys are like I started when they were saying this. I started looking. I was like,
Where am
this
I
is
gonna
kind of
go?
cool. But you know
Okay.
what? I really can't do that right now because I do have kids. So
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones where I'm like, look, I have to stand my ground for my kids, and I have to scream from the top of this mountain. We gotta do better.
Hmm.
We gotta do better. And I know I sound like a broken record. I know I sound negative, but it's because there's a lot of shit that we gotta start taking action, and we gotta change our culture.
Yeah.
It's like you want us to embrace women, you want us to respect women. All right, cool. Then you gotta embrace men. You gotta
Hmm.
accept men. You gotta stop shitting on men. And the same way you got something like toxic masculinity, we should also talk about toxic femininity
Hmm.
because it exists. The same way, like you want to talk about racism from white people, you gotta talk about racism from black people. It's like that's when we start having the equal conversations
Yeah.
when we address all sides of
That
issues.
toxic femininity is just it's not called toxic femininity. It's called the freaking, what the hell is it? This mentality everybody has right now, the victim mentality. Like, there are some women who just like cry about any little thing. Like, shut up, dry your tears, man. Like, what is that doing? What is that doing? Oh
I
my
love that
god,
one. I love
it's
that
out there. It is.
the one that, why are you doing it? But you know why she's crying for, right? She's crying because she wants the pity points. And
Right.
she wants to win whatever argument she's trying to win through manipulation.
Through tears,
By
yeah.
you feeling sorry for her, giving you that victim, and that's the narrative that
You know
empowers
what's
them to
crazy?
do that.
You know what's crazy though? Because I've had 2 different guys tell me that you know, like they don't want to date another man. That like, oh, why don't I ever cry? Fuck you. That's your goal? You want to make me cry? It's gonna make you feel better about yourself? Like, what the hell? Mm-mm-mm.
Yes, Tadashi at 100%, man. You're please keep coming back to the channel. You're a very inspiration because you're saying everything that I be thinking. You're right.
Yeah.
Life could be so much easier if we just get out of our own way.
Yeah.
Like, think about all the stuff you hear about arguing and all this stuff. It's like, yo, if just get out of our way, we would be better. And that's with everything. That's with everything. It's crazy that some of the things that people cry about, if you look at 100 years ago, not even the most, like the elites, the rich had what we have today.
Mm-hmm.
For example, air conditioning, running water, all this stuff that we have as luxuries, we take for granted.
We do. It's just like,
me, wah, me. Like, yo, seriously, they'll shut up and just work. And you will find that life will provide you your greatest, wildest desires.
Yeah.
Because I'm living proof. Lynn's living proof. Look at us. We're just chilling at home. And look at her back. I love her background. It's so bright. Look at my background. It's so bright. You could see the bright energy coming off of us. Because we're not victims. We believe in manifesting the things we want in life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we wish
speak it into
existence, right?
And just trust
what do
it.
we do?
You gotta trust it, man.
The process, and then what does that do? That instills in us belief in ourselves to make it happen.
Have you heard of minimalism?
Yes, and I'm really trying to embrace that in my life. Me and Lynn, unfortunately, it's in our genetics that we're a bunch of pack rats. Our mother's that way.
We're parents. I feel like as parents, it's difficult to be a minimalist, man.
No, I'm really trying to do that. But you know what? It's not just the materialistic things in your home. You could also be minimalistic in everything you do in your life. So once you start chasing after the trinkets and keeping up with the Joneses, you realize you don't need much to make yourself happy in life. And I think that's where I'm at in my life. Like, you know what I really need? Like, when I really feel like I need a recharge, it's not like I need to go out and do a party and all this and pop them out. No. What I need to do is I need to go to the lake. And just take in the sun.
Connect with nature.
Take a moment, connect with nature, and
get out into nature.
Get out of my head and just enjoy life. That's where I'm at in my life. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like going out. And every once in a while, my buddy hits me up, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I turn it up. But I don't need to do that every weekend. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that social proof of like, oh, hey, you know, I went out and I got social proof. I don't need that. And a lot
We're
of
actually
people
gonna pivot real quick. We're gonna go back up to Fuzz's earlier comment. He said, your thoughts on CBD stores using Dragon Ball Z and Disney characters on the store awning and the store banners. Yeah, this is a difficult one because the fact is that those kind of things, it attracts children's attention. Whether they know the characters, whether they understand, like, you know, anime, or if they've been involved with those characters, it doesn't matter. The fact is, it's cartoons and it's for kids. On the flip side, the people who are opening these CBD stores, they're from our generation. Like, we watched Dragon Ball Z, you know, like we grew up with Disney movies and Disney characters, and it's another way of them expressing themselves, you know, especially with like, you think about like, Comic-Con, how like, those are all adults, you know, who just, it's fandom. These are things that they love. These are things that, you know, they use to represent themselves. So it's a double-edged sword, man.
it's a slippery slope, and I see where
It
Fuzz is coming
is.
with, because we're seeing that with the alphabet community and like the whole trans movement and all that stuff. Like their whole flag is a rainbow flag. When you think
Hmm.
about rainbow, like kids gravitate to that. They
Yes.
gravitate to those colors, like Rainbow Bright and all that stuff. Like rainbows, kids cartoons and all that. So the fact, it's like we see it now where there's even like there's a push where people are coming out. They're like gays against grooming, because there's
Hmm.
like this really big thing where people are now open to talk about sexuality to kids.
Yeah.
And like the gays against grooming, they came out with a statement and they were like, look, let's stop talking about this to kids. Like, we figured this out back in the day, right? Nobody taught us. We figured
Hmm.
it all out and we're okay. Let them figure their own thing out. Let kids be kids. And so it's the same thing. It's like when the cigarette companies used to advertise towards kids, and there was a
Right.
law that came out and banned that. It's like it is a very slippery slope, and I don't like anything that's driven towards kids. Like, you put certain things and you got an agenda and you're attacking those kids. So it
Yeah.
could be something where the kids are looking at it, right? They were like, "Oh, I've been exposed to this all my life." So when they turn 18, they come walking into the store
Hmm.
because they've been programmed. And they've been seeing this propaganda, since they were little kids. So I don't like that. I don't like
And
that.
there's a lot of marketing things that like cigarette companies do, and like now the vaping companies are doing, where you walk into the store and certain ads are at eye level,
Hmm.
for children, not for adults, for children.
Yes.
And like they're packaged a certain way, and there's a bunch of stuff that they do that does market to children directly.
Yep. Yep. So I don't like any of it. I don't like the whole. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like, leave my kids alone.
Yeah. Honestly, from our
Like,
education system all the way through, every aspect of our life, like we're supposed to be protecting our children.
we are, and we're
Children are supposed to
supposed
be the
to.
future. We're supposed to be, planting seeds and molding them in the way that, they're going
Mhm.
to bring about a change in the future.
Especially kids, because you always hear the statement of arrested development, right? Where
Hmm.
something happened in a kid's life where they just stop developing at that point, right? And they just have that mindset of where that tragedy happened to them.
Hmm.
So yeah, they could be 23 years old, but in their mind, they still act like they're 13.
Hmm.
And we have a society that enables that,
Yeah.
right? And I hate that. Like, let's stop. Let our kids have their innocence. Let them have their youth, and stop rushing them to grow up.
Hmm.
It's like, let them be kids. Look, I got a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I know they should be doing things like older, because they're older, right? So they shouldn't, like, not, but they love still doing these things as kids, and I'm not gonna say anything about that. I'm gonna applaud them. I'm gonna let them do it. Shit, there's times like, we've been watching wrestling. I wrestle with my kids all out throughout this house. We
Hmm.
have brawls for like an hour in every room of the house. I get to be a kid again with them, and I
Hmm.
love that because it's their innocence, and I don't want them to lose that. Because once you lose that innocence, that's when you start taking in the evils that is society.
Yeah.
The things of like, oh, now I want to be selfish. Oh, I'm worrying about my image. Oh, I want to, it's like that's when you start looking for the empty gratifications, right? The instant
Hmm.
gratification, but they're empty. And it's like, listen, I know I haven't done the studies. I'm not ever going to do the studies, but I could easily say that there's a correlation between people who lost their innocence and didn't really get to be a child,
Hmm.
and then like this high rampant sexual, society that we are,
Mm.
right? Why? Because they're all
Yeah.
looking for some kind of connection, and they think they're gonna find that connection through sex because sex feels great. But then afterwards,
Hmm.
they're like, "Why do I feel so empty? Why do I feel so ashamed?" That's another thing. People are like, "Oh, don't shame me because I want to do this or I want to do that." But then it's like,
Yep.
why do you
Shame
feel
is
ashamed?
not a bad thing. First off, shame is
Why
not
do
a bad thing.
you
It
feel
kind of
ashamed though?
reminds you, like, hey, wait a minute, this isn't really something I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We should have higher standards. I say all the time, we need to have higher standards. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think, like what country is that? I want to say it's England. That like they ticket you for cursing, in a bar. You're not allowed to curse. You can't
Yeah.
use curse words, and it's because in their society they feel like they're above that. Like, you know, what are we above as Americans? What are we above?
Bro, there's I forgot what country it is, but they did you remember that story where the kid he like tagged up, like he spray painted, and
Hmm.
they caned, he was like an American, they caned him for that, and they were
No,
like
like,
trying to
girl.
like, no, don't do this. They were trying to like export him out, and they were like, no,
Hmm.
don't do this, and they caned him for it. Like I heard you could get caned if you freaking like spit gum on the sidewalk and somebody sees
I've
you do
heard
that.
that one. I have heard
Like
that
that's
one.
fucking crazy. But look, it's crazy. But
But
think
it's
about
a
how people are
standard. It's
all
a
in line.
standard of
It's
living.
a
Yes. And
standard,
then you know what?
right?
Everyone agrees. Hey, no idiot's gonna be throwing a bag of trash out their window on the highway.
Right,
You know,
right.
nobody's gonna stop on the highway and toss a mattress because they don't know where else to dump it. Like, come on.
Hmm. Yeah, no, and once again, all this stuff we're talking about, it leads to what? What is it? What's generating all that? People's selfishness.
Hmm.
We have a big society that's built on individualism and selfishness. And not, granted, I'm selfish. I'm human. I know I'm selfish. I do a lot
Hmm.
of things for myself, and I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to start thinking about the greater good and everybody else. Because I think once we start realizing that we all have this like energy, relationship where we're all connected, be it my man and Stone and Rock, right?
Hmm.
Who he jokingly you might think, oh, he has a pet rock, but you know what, he finds a connection through that.
Yeah.
Who am I to judge? If it makes him a better person, amen. Connection out here in the wilderness, connection where like I told you the other day, I saw this lady, she was really trying to hit the squirrel. I was
Hmm.
like, man, I just saw that and I was like, can you imagine how evil that person is? Like, I
Yeah.
don't
To
even
try
want to
and
be
take a
around. Like,
squirrel
I
out. Come
swerve.
on.
I
Come on.
swerve when I see a squirrel. I'm like, oh shit! Ah! like almost crashing my truck, trying not to hit this damn animal. And yet she was trying to hit him like dead on. I was
That's
like, man,
crazy.
that's a horrible person. That's a horrible person. The kind of person, and that goes back to like, when they see these like serial killers, and they're like, yo, how did you start it? Like, you're watching Dexter, right? How did
Hmm.
he start? He started killing squirrels.
Yeah.
So it starts somewhere, right? It's
Yeah.
like, but that, what is that? It's that break of not having that like bond and that relationship and that mutual respect for other
For
creatures
nature.
and other living
Yes.
things and just
Hmm.
life in general. Because that's the secret of life. It's like, yo, you were brought into this life, right? You were given a gift that you're living and breathing, right? You got to respect everything else that was given the gift as well.
See, if that says rainbow people get caned in Singapore. That's still a
Oh,
thing. That's a thing. And you know what? That was a big part of our conversation the other day too, because it's not about acceptance. You know, Ray and I both feel that like if you look around, like we pretty much accept a lot of things. You know, nobody's gonna get like shamed for holding like a same sex couple holding hands or something like that. Like it is
that to me, I don't
accepted.
even acknowledge that. I don't even, I like, to me, I
You
don't
don't even
say
think
like in a
twice
negative
about
way.
it.
It's just, I don't think twice about it. To me, that's normal.
Right.
Like I
Our
see, like
our
especially in
biggest
our area,
issue, and I
like we're
kind of
in,
like formulated this idea from our last conversations. Our biggest issue is the grooming. Like, why does it have to be
yeah,
so
in your
widely
face,
in your face? Every store you go into,
right?
like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's on
So
candy
I was on,
bars.
LinkedIn. I was on LinkedIn, right, looking at jobs,
Hmm.
and there was a form where it was like, "Do you want to self-identify?" And they will give you the forms, and I'm used to seeing it like, are you Asian, Hispanic? And I'm like, okay, I'm Hispanic.
Yeah.
Are you male or female? And I was like, I should say I identify as a woman so I can get this
Hmm.
job. But I was like, male, whatever. But then they asking, like, the next question was like, are you straight, gay, bisexual, transgender? I was like, why are you even asking this? It's a
Yeah.
job. Why do you care about my sexual preference when it comes to a job? Like,
Hmm.
I don't understand that, because you know what? It's not about sexual preference anymore. It's an identity, and that's
Hmm.
the scary part. It's like that, like that should, that to me, it's like, look, I don't care. Like, once again, I don't care what you do in the bedroom. I've been around people. I have friends, and I embrace all of that. The part I don't like is that it's in your face. It's like it's everywhere. Like June comes around, and every company is feeding it to you,
Yeah.
right? It's in our media, it's in social media, it's in our our movies, our music, it's everywhere. And it's like, I don't understand that, because once again, we have a high sexualized society, and I
Hmm.
don't think we should embrace it either way. I don't even think it's okay when it's just straight sex that
Yeah.
being put in people's face.
It's
Like,
too
some people
much.
just are not
It's
wired like
too
that. Like,
much.
it's too
Hmm.
much, right? So
It's like the old saying, leave something for the imagination.
yes, there you
You
go.
know, like you
There
can hit
you
that
go.
stuff,
Yes.
but like, damn it, let me imagine what's happening next.
Right. And look, I'm not knocking it if you're freaky. Look, you have your whatever you want to get freaky with, go ahead, get freaky with.
Hmm.
But that there should be places for that.
Yeah.
Right? You want to get freaky, you get freaky in the club. You want to get freaky, you go to the spot. You go like leave that over there. Like it
Hmm.
shouldn't be front and center, and definitely should be in front and center of our kids.
Yeah.
And when you have companies like Disney that's really promoting it, then yeah, that's front and center in front of our kids.
Yeah.
So is it a choice of sexuality or is it a lifestyle? Is it like if it's a lifestyle, shouldn't I choose to opt out of it if
Hmm.
I don't want that? You know?
Right. Are you gonna watch the new Gina Carano's movie?
I tried because
Terror on the Prairie.
I hate what happened to Gina, but for some reason they didn't put that one free like they did all the other ones. So I know shoot, what's the other one? The ones with the guns, the school shooting. I saw that one, and I saw the one with the superheroes. So this is the Daily Wire, right? They're starting to start their own like movies and pumping out movies that are, they don't really tout the message. And one of the things was when Gina Carano went through that whole controversy where she got fired from The Mandalorian. Disney fired her for comments that were pretty much they were easy comments. They weren't really like anything offensive or anything like that. It was just they were right leaning comments that didn't align with their agenda and their message. So she got fired, and the Daily Wire came up and said, "Hey, look, we'll give you a job." And so the movie premiered last week. I was trying to watch it. It wasn't free, so I got to find a way to get it because I don't know if I want to really pay Daily Wire my money. I don't pay anybody my money. I get all this shit. I find ways. Run, Hide, Fight. Yes, that was a good movie. And actually, that movie definitely applies to the argument of school shootings and guns in general. I know a lot of guys, some people who saw it, they were like, oh, they still gave, force fed, the female lead and made her like a Mary Sue because she was able to do everything. But I still like the movie because it went against the whole narrative of guns aren't bad. She was trained in how to use guns and she was able to fight back. And I think that's what we need to start doing now. I think the more people are armed, the less likely somebody's gonna mess with you. It's like when you have a sign in front of your house that says we're armed, beware, we are armed. I don't think somebody's gonna come rob your home. Especially, if you're home, right? Whereas they're gonna go to your neighbor's home because they're like, maybe this guy's not armed. I think we definitely should have more training when it comes to when it comes to guns. I think we should have more. Like I heard teachers, like I heard in red states, teachers are starting to look to arm themselves, and I
Yeah.
applaud that. I applaud that. I've heard you know
No, they're
ex-military
losing you.
individuals
Hang on.
volunteering their time to patrol the hallways,
Yeah.
and I applaud that too. Like I really do believe that we should have more guns, not less guns. Because
Hmm.
I just it's silly to think that you the one of the memes that I saw going around was the police their mission is not to protect you.
Hmm.
So it's like okay they're gonna take your guns away. Who are you gonna call to protect you? It's like you need to protect yourself. And it's crazy people don't want to acknowledge this, but you also got to protect yourself against your own government. Like that's always an option. Like think about
Yeah.
it. The Second Amendment was written right after the Revolutionary War. Well, there were a bunch of rebels. There were a bunch of anarchists who said, "Look, we don't want to follow Britain's rules anymore.
Hmm.
So we're gonna make sure we armed ourselves in case the government ever becomes, if they're never they stop working for our benefit."
Yeah.
So yes, we're supposed to have militias. Yes, we're supposed to have tanks. Yes, we're supposed to have all the stuff that they have. Because if they ever get to a point where they're not working for our benefits, we're supposed to stop it and fight back as the people. Now, can we get a little bit more organized? Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that we need more training.
Yeah.
And I think we should constantly be touting that. The same way, like you have a driver's license, maybe you should have a gun license. And maybe you should have to do training every year to maintain your gun license.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. Do we have a mental issue here in America? Yes, we do. It
Absolutely.
stems to a lot of the stuff we talk about. The
Hmm.
individual, selfishness, trying to keep up with the Joneses, having your image, social media. There's a lot of problems. But we don't ever talk about that. We say, oh, the gun's the problem. We don't ever say, oh, no, it's the individual, the mental issues.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, did you hear what happened to Justin Bieber?
No, I didn't.
So let me take a step back because he was touting on his concerts. He was one of the big proponents for the Kofifi vax.
Hmm.
And so the rumor is that the vax kind of, because it's happening to other people as well, it like paralyzed him. So half his face
Oh, fuck this. Oh
is
my God.
paralyzed. So
Okay.
he's like he has the droopy lip, and one his eyes is like he's really jacked up.
Hmm.
Like you got to see the photo of him. But yeah, I think it's I want to believe it's from the vax, but a lot of people are misinformation. I'm just saying it's my opinion. This is what I believe. He was a big
Right.
opponent for it. I've heard other stories of other people happening, and he's just the biggest name so far. Somebody that happening to him. I've also
I
heard a
tell my
lot of
kids all the time, like, like it's awesome to be a good looking person. It is. It's awesome to have that confidence and look in the mirror and say, wow, I feel good about myself. But you have to understand that like your looks can go at any time. Like, just like this, you could wake up and half your face is droopy. Oh shit! Now what? You
not
just
to
have to accept
mention
it. That's your
that
fate.
the people who are good looking are very insecure too,
Yeah.
because all they don't they feel like, and this is what I've heard from people, is like they feel like um people just want to talk to them, or people are just around them because of their looks.
Hmm.
So they feel like very like they won't speak up in a conversation because they don't know if they're like smart, or they don't know if people will accept what they're saying and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
they're very insecure.
Hmm.
It's why you see like a post where somebody will post something, and if it's not liked, if they don't get the ratio, they'll take off
They'll
they'll
take it
take down the
down.
post,
Hmm.
and then they feel like the whole day is like, oh my god, my day is horrible. So honestly, it goes back to just striving to be content with what you have in life and stop chasing after what everybody else has, because you don't know people's stories. You don't know what they have. You could see it from a distance. You're like, man, that looks amazing, but you don't know. You don't know what demons they have over there. Oh shoot, I lost you, Lynn. Oh no. Are we still live? Still counting. Ticker's still counting.
You? Did I
Lynn, you
lose
coming
you?
back? Oh, there you are. You're back.
No.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure we were still alive.
I'm trying to show. I'm trying to see if I can do it on my phone. If I can like share my screen.
On your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm good. It was just you, but you're trying to share something. So let's see what you're sharing. The camera changed, and it changed on the screen too.
Yeah, but it's not
You look
letting
like
me.
your head looks weird. You look like a cone head.
Because I'm like really close. I'm really close. All right. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I
Yeah,
tried.
it's sad because I like Justin Bieber, but it's sad. Like that's why I was very hesitant. I'm still hesitant with it. I was like, I don't trust it. To me, it
Mhm.
just seems timing and the way everything was being pushed. I was like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I was like, I could wait a few years if it's still a problem in a few years and all the kinks are kind of, you know what it is. I'm so used to, when you buy a car, and I've wanted a lot of cars in my life. So when you buy cars, everybody tells you don't get the first generation of that car, right?
Right.
The first production year, don't get that one. Why? Because there's kinks in the car. They're gonna iron it out by year 2 and year 3. So
Hmm.
really, when you want to buy like that new truck or that new car, you want to get the third year of it being made because that's when they get all the kinks out. So I kind of had that same concept with the vax. I was like, oh no, man, this is like new technology and new things. I'm not gonna be a guinea pig. I'm not gonna be a test subject. That's just me. Once again, I don't know if that's what's happening. This is my theories as far as what's happening. I think the official thing is that he is. It was like a rare. They said, "Oh, it's like a rare condition that
Hmm.
he's suffering from." But mind you, he was fine. He was fine.
Right.
He's a young guy, fine, healthy, all the music videos, living the best life. And now all of a sudden he's not. And this is happening to like a lot of like athletes that now
Hmm.
they're, was they getting a large hearts and they're having heart attacks and they're collapsing and they're like young and healthy and they're active
Hmm.
and they were fine. But once again, nobody in the media, nobody's going to correlate any of these stuff where it's just so weird. Coincidentally, within the last 2 years, all these people are starting to get these issues. But
Right.
they won't correlate the two. They won't. They won't because then they will have
Not
to admit
yet.
they were
In the
wrong.
history books, they will.
You think so?
Looking back,
You think so? 100 years from now, you think they're really going to correlate the two?
I think so.
I don't know.
Because then they'll be able to
Somebody.
see it more objectively. They'll look back and be like, oh, well, during these years, there was an increase in this, and that.
Fuzz said in Brooklyn, 17 people went to the hospital during our last marathon. Yep, I heard about that
Ooh.
too. And then of course everybody's trying to correlate the two. And then see, that's the thing. Like I correlate it, and I'm a what? I'm a conspiracy theorist, right?
Hmm.
I'm a kook. I got my aluminum foil hat, right? I listen to I'm a wackadoo. I listen to what's his name? Um, and so it's like, all right, well, fine. But then go back and look at the other marathons, and people are like, "Oh, how do how do you not expect somebody who's stressing their body for something bad not to happen to them?" Or maybe they were dehydrated, or it happens. It happens. That's the excuse. It happens. It happens.
Hmm.
But you're not going to correlate with what happened, within the last 2 years.
Right.
Ramsey
Ramsey
Hunt
Hunt
syndrome.
syndrome.
I think that's what Bieber has, like a rare
Mm.
condition. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I question everything. I don't mind being labeled a conspiracy theorist. I know some of the things you gotta watch what you say on YouTube because they don't like that conspiracy theorist. I've listened to some of the stuff Alex Jones says. I don't care. He's funny sometimes when he's like, "Yo, the frogs, they're trying to make the frogs gay." I was like, "What? It's in the water. They're making the frogs gay." I was like, "Oh shit, Alex Jones." I don't listen. I don't care. I watch that. Sometimes it's entertaining, and sometimes I like to hear like a different perspective on things.
Hmm.
And look, newsflash, because I know you guys think I'm right leaning. I'll listen to what some of the lefties got to say. I'll listen to what they say because I'm like, oh, this is your guy. Your guy's in office right now. Your guy is the guy who's running things. Your
Hmm.
guy is the guy who's in charge and everything is getting worse. Let me see how you hold them accountable. No, they don't do anything. I listen to CNN sometimes, MSNBC, just to see what they're saying.
Hmm.
Things gonna get better. No. So, it is what it is. Yeah, did you hear about that though? The marathon? I think somebody died.
No, I
And
didn't.
he was healthy. He was like a healthy guy. He was running marathons all his life and all that, and he's gone.
Jeez.
And I'm like, there's nothing to correlate there. There's nothing. It's just you're just gonna chance this. It's
Hmm.
all by chance. This healthy young guy just doing what he always does,
Hmm.
and there's no correlation, right? No, I'm good, buddy. So
That's crazy.
it is
No, I
crazy.
hadn't heard anything about it. I don't follow the news. I don't know what's
Soccer
going on in the
players, because
world.
my boys are big on soccer, and it's like they're saying like a lot of soccer players they'll just be in the middle of a game and they'll just collapse.
Mm. The guy that died was a 32-year-old male doctor.
Mm.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
So like once again, like I don't know if it's because people are presenting this now and bringing it to people's attention now, and
Mhm.
then maybe like you could look back because I haven't really. I'll admit that I haven't taken the time to look back at all the other marathons. And they're like, well, you know what? Every time the marathons run, there's always somebody who dies. It's like, oh, okay. There's statistics. There is a sense of all right, this happens before. Okay, there is no correlation, but I don't know. There's a lot of weird stories coming up of like enlarged hearts and all this stuff, and I'm like, there's you don't see any kind of consistency with all of this. Like
Mhm.
that's what I question because it's like really obvious for me, but no, nobody sees it. Nobody sees it.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest thing is like there's a real big push. Like I keep getting the notification where there's a push to get babies vaccinated at this point.
No way.
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't
pushing
hear
it.
about
They're
that.
really pushing to get babies vaccinated. That was the latest thing. Like they're trying to like, oh, you gotta make it okay for babies.
For the
And I'm
under
like, that's
5.
weird. Yeah, yeah. And I'm
Hmm.
like, that's crazy. That's crazy because it
I
wasn't
mean,
like they were
we
like the
do
lowest cost.
vaccinate babies. Like they get like shots every year until like their 5th birthday for like their annual
True,
physicals.
true. And like
And but yeah, but the ones that we're giving them are ones that we've been giving them for years. There's a lot more
right,
studies. There's more
right.
long-term
Because I
studies.
was called an anti-vaxxer too when I was like, look, I refuse to take it. And they're like,
Hmm.
oh, so you're one of those anti-vaxxers. And then they were like, oh, what's the difference? You've taken all these kind of vax. And look, being in the military, you get tons of vax, right? Stuff
Hmm.
that most people, we only get like the main ones, right?
Right, the chicken
But then there's like the
pox.
supplement ones that you don't get
Hmm.
unless you're going to like Africa or something like that. So being in the military and the fact that you can go anywhere at any minute, they pump all that shit into you. So I've taken all that stuff, but once again, the thing that kind of I pumped the brakes when it came to this one was it was all new technology, and this is the first one they made, and the way they were rushing and pushing it. And then
Hmm.
I'm looking at like Kofifi, and I'm like, well, Kofifi, you guys made it seem like it was so bad, and we're a year into it, and it's really not that bad,
Hmm.
you know? So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, you got a 99% survivability rate, right? And yet you're pushing this vax with new technology, and it didn't sit right for me.
Yeah.
Speaking about it, Fauci, Fauci just got COVID,
Oh, jeez.
and he's got 4 shots,
Oh,
and he got
Jesus.
COVID.
Oh my God. 4
And you
shots.
hear, yeah, 4 shots. And you hear like you hear, all these politicians who have all promoted it and all got the vaccine, and they're all still getting COVID.
Yeah.
So
So the marathoners were sent to Coney Island Hospital. Tadashi's asking if it's summer here now in the U.S. It's not quite summer yet. Summer starts at the end of June. We're still in
it's
spring.
nice though.
It's really nice. It's really nice.
I
And
would say it's
honestly,
like summer. It feels like summer.
the
70 degrees.
vegetation everywhere is super thick. Like it's so
Yeah,
lush.
yeah.
It looks like, like the earth had a chance to catch its breath over the last 2 years with everybody being home. And it's definitely a change. It's nice. It's almost
Yeah.
intimidating. Like on the highway, I'm like, crap, I feel like I'm driving on an island somewhere. Like,
Yeah, it does. Like when I go over the mountain, I feel like I always do like the Jurassic Park music, or it
uh-huh.
always feels like I'm in Hawaii or something like that.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it feels great.
amazing.
Feels great.
Hmm.
But Plus
Well,
said they sent the marathoners to Coney Island Hospital. Well, yeah, it was probably the closest hospital, and it was like an emergency. So
mhm.
unfortunately, they went to a shitty hospital. Ugh. Ah.
I don't know.
Like,
You and I were both born in a shitty hospital, and here we are.
you think so? You think Lincoln Hospital was a shitty hospital?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never experienced Lincoln Hospital as an adult. However, I hear things, and I heard that's the hospital of the dead. That's what they call it.
Yeah, but you know what? We were
They
also
say
born in
people
the
go there to
80s.
die. Ah.
Oh, but you know what? Also, we were born in the 80s, and I think a lot more people were resilient back then than they are today.
Mm,
I feel like people go to the ER when they're like, they got a cold now.
yeah.
Oh, oh,
You know
I
what
got
I've noticed?
COVID.
I've been doing a lot of doctor Googling whenever I have symptoms of something, and I'm just kind
All
of
right,
like
all of that
pushing
says you have
through.
a heart attack, call 911, or you got cancer.
But no, like I'm just like pushing through with like different illnesses and stuff that I have, and like I've like stopped going to the doctor altogether, and it was kind of concerning. So I'm actually I have it on my to-do list to like make an appointment for like my PCP, like a regular checkup. Because yeah, I need to stop with this like self-diagnosing bullshit. Like,
Well,
hello,
what I
modern
learned,
technology.
and what I would advise this to anybody is, so this year, since I left my job, I don't have health insurance, right?
Hmm.
And of course, when I try to go, to the system and all that, even as a veteran, trying to go to the VA and saying, "Hey, I want health insurance," what's the number one question they ask? Well, let's see your taxes, let's see your income, let's see your money,
Hmm.
and I get priced out of everything. So it's up
Right.
to me to figure out how I'm going to maintain my health. So what I started doing was I just took a proactive approach when it came to my health,
Mm-hmm.
and I signed up for a company. It's called Mira, right? And what they do is they negotiate prices, so I can go do, like, when it's time for me to do blood work. It
Mm-hmm.
costs me about $100. I get a full panel, and then I can actually see where I'm elevated at,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can go. I call it. It's like a telehealth, right? So it's telehealth. So I go and I schedule an appointment with the doctor. I pay like $5 for my visit because I'm on the phone or I'm in a video chat, and so then he prescribes my medication. Now the only thing that doesn't, what I don't have is like emergency coverage. Like if I gotta go to the ER, that shit's coming out of my pocket. But
Right.
for the most part, if I stay proactive, on my health conditions right now and maintain or get better, which I'm striving to do, right? Which a lot of people don't. They just take, whatever. Oh, I don't listen to my body until something goes wrong, and then I go see the
Right.
doctor. So I think that might be the future of medicine, where a lot of people understand their blood work.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Like I look at my blood work and I can understand it. Most people don't. They just like
Right.
wait for the doctor to say, "All right, doc, what's wrong with me?" That's bad, because you can do things when you see, like, oh, this is elevated. You can start changing like your diet or whatnot, so that way you can get those lower numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are you seeing Lightyear?
yes, I have kids. I do have. I'm definitely gonna go through that year. But you know what? You know what? Once again, like Disney really aggravates the shit out of me, and like they the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really looking forward to that. Like I was like, yo, The Mandalorian was a hit. Um, I mean, Boba Fett kind of had its little missteps, but I didn't think Obi-Wan was gonna be this bad. And it's like the reason why it's this bad is because they're focusing on a character who we had, like, she was first introduced in the show, through the show, and it's like you have the title guy, right, taking a back seat to this individual,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course Disney is preemptively, eradicating any complaints of the show by saying, oh, you're racist, you're sexist, because she's a black female lead. And so like, oh, you can't accept her because of who she is. I was like, no, she's poorly written,
She's
and
not Obi-Wan. The
she's
name of
not
the show.
Obi-Wan.
The name of the
Yes,
show is
yes.
Obi-Wan. What the hell?
Right. She's poorly written, and she's just not Obi-Wan, And it's like, and I feel like if they would have written her better, and then like kind of like weaved it into the story with Obi-Wan, then I could see, I could say, because listen, Star Wars comes out with some of the great characters. Like there's one character I truly love when it comes to Star Wars is Ahsoka. She's like
Mm-hmm.
my favorite of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And they introduced her like years later in the cartoons, and I started like loving her in the cartoons, and now I'm excited that they're starting to bring her into like live action and on the like she's getting her own show. And I saw her last year in The Mandalorian, and I'm super excited. I'm super
Yeah.
pumped. But then again, I'm also scared because I'm like, yo, Disney's agenda. I'm like, you're gonna end up butchering her, or you're gonna introduce somebody else, and I feel like you're gonna mess it up. Just keep it clean. You're gonna mess it up. So, and it's sad because it's like when people complain, they're like, "Oh, it's the toxic fandom." So that's how they shelter it. So they don't take any kind of criticism for their
Mm-hmm.
shows because they chop it up to, oh, toxic fandom. Fuzz said, in the TV show, Kenobi and Darth Vader finally fights, but Kenobi ran away like a wussy. Yeah, it's like, yo, like the build up, like this last episode, everybody's like raving about, it's a 6 episode show. And they finally gave us what we wanted in episode 5. And I'm like, do you understand how, like I should be happy for this, but I'm not, because like you failed me with the first 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course they got like Princess Leia as a little girl. She's like 8 or 9 in the show, and like they're focusing heavily on her, focusing heavily on the new character, and I'm just like, why have an Obi show then?
Yeah. It
Like
could
why
just
call
be
it Obi
another
Wan?
Star Wars show.
Yeah, it should have been the new character and just call her, her show. So sorry, you got the Buzz Lightyear got me on a rant. I was like, yeah, Disney, because Disney's like notorious with this, and I'm just, I'm so tired of Disney.
I have Woody hanging on my wall. Like he's over there. Woody.
So I feel like Buzz Lightyear is going to be a trap, and I already saw the trailer, and I already saw how it's going to be a trap because I saw the trailer for Buzz Lightyear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is, and this isn't all in the trailer. This is what I got. So I'm going to throw out this premise. It's a trailer. I'm no spoiler alerts, right? But it's like the character. I think he goes to like a time warp, and so he was working with his partner,
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes through this time warp, and then he sees her again in like the jungles or whatever, but it's not her because he went through the future. So it's
Okay.
like her great granddaughter. And I feel like we're going into, Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear. We're going in for this movie, and I feel like he's gonna take a backseat to her. And it's like,
Gotcha.
stop doing this. Stop giving these characters that's why we're coming to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Stop giving them the backseat treatment,
It's the old bait and switch.
Yes, and Disney's notorious for that shit. Disney is notorious for that shit. And I'm so freaking mad with Disney because it's like, look, Disney is my childhood, right? It's your childhood too. It's like we know like the magic that Disney could be if they would just let go of all this agenda. And it's like I love it that like I hear like Netflix is losing subscribers because that's another one. I was all a fan for Netflix from day one. I was getting the mail-in discs. I was like, yo, this is the future. And I was like, yo, I was from day one a fan of Netflix, but then they started doing this propaganda stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good that you're losing subscribers. Disney needs to lose subscribers. I heard people are not going to the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just had this whole Star Wars thing. And look, it was massive expensive where you can go and role play in Star Wars. And I was like, yo, that's so dope. Like I was like, yo, that's like my dream come true. As a kid, I could go and do the sci-fi role playing thing, and I can do it with my kids. But one, it's super expensive, and then two, it's focused on a story that no Star Wars fans wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all admit that the sequels, right, all sucked, and yet Disney wants to push that front and center. And it's like, yo, stop, Disney, stop. And I think they won't recognize that until more people stop giving them the money. But it's like, can you imagine you say, like, I'm not going to give Disney money? Think about all the characters. Look, he just said Lightyear, Star Wars, Marvel. Like, I can't even fathom saying that like with a straight face. Like, stop giving Disney money. Like, what are you talking about? That's everything. That's pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm so like we have one episode left, and I'm like I'm gonna watch it, but I'm like I know it's gonna suck. I'm like this was the total show. This is what you guys did, and then it's funny too because it's it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, but you know that it's gonna also give you the backstory to like Darth Vader, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Darth Vader is like the most like when you think Star Wars, you think Darth Vader, right?
Right.
Right? You think Darth Vader, you think Yoda, right? Those are the characters that pop into your head. Chewbacca, right? Those are the characters you think about. And so you're going into the show.
Baby Chewie. Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
And like you barely getting these scenes. And I'm like, why? Why do you do this? Why do you do this bait and switch? And you're capitalizing on the fandom. And that's the thing that really hurts. Because you know that they're going to be loyal. Because you say, oh, we're just going to do this. You throw the name out there. You get all this loyalty, all this fandom coming in. And then you do the bait and switch. And it's like,
not cool, Disney.
No, it's
not cool.
So I'm telling you, they're going to do a bait and switch for one of your shows. Watch.
I'll be so mad.
Watch. Something you wanted, like you're going to go to Lightyear. You're going to watch. They're going to do a bait and switch on your shit too. However, I did watch the Miss Marvel TV show. I thought it was going to be, the agenda and the message, and it's still there. But I like it. I like that show. It has a heart to it, and it's written well. So I did watch it. I would advise you, watch it with, your kids because my kids are seeing it and they like it. They like it. It's written well.
Okay.
So it's definitely like
it's something else to tune into.
It's like they wrote it more for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like going through what kids go through in like high school and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's cute. The kids like it. So I don't mind watching that. But like, I don't know. You fail with Obi-Wan. I'm so pissed.
All right, so that's actually all we had for
Is
today,
that how
guys.
we're gonna
And
end it? We're gonna
we've
end
hit
it with me so pissed
our
I don't
2 hour mark.
Oh.
I do want to show you guys my pens that I started. You know what? I can't switch my camera around. Damn it! I can turn my
We're not
camera
gonna
off.
end it. Hold up. We're not gonna end it on Obi-Wan because tonight, I don't know if you guys know, but The Boys, it's back on Amazon. They say it
Mhm.
comes out on Fridays, but I see it on Thursdays. It comes out like around 8 or 9 o'clock here Eastern. So The Boys are on tonight. You know, that's gonna clean your palate. If you saw Obi-Wan, just watch The Boys. It's just a beautiful show. It's written well, and I love it. I love The Boys. So I want to end it on that note. I don't want to end it on Obi-Wan. Disney, get that shit.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode.
Oh, you're gonna show us. I'm waiting to see
I
what you're gonna show
can't
us.
show you guys the pens because I can't flip my camera around.
Guys, thank you once again for coming on to the show, showing mad love, mad props. Thank you guys. You don't know how much it means to us to just know that we have people rooting for us. That means a lot. And I hope that when you guys comment, I hope that you see that we take the time to answer it. Look, I know there's going to be a time where there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of comments, and we're going to try. We're going to really try to answer you guys because you guys are part of this show. You know, that's what we want to talk about, the things that you guys are seeing in your day-to-day life. And keep commenting because, you know, just like my boy Tadashi, where he was speaking truths today. He was hitting it. He was hitting with homers. And those are the kind of things that people need to see and then start believing in that. So please, guys, you know, keep doing what you do. We're gonna keep trying to do what we do, and we're gonna make a change. All right, then go ahead. I was ranting while you had your time to get out there.
I came out here so you can see at least in my background. So this is my before, and this is my after. I've started painting it. I think it looks great. I've only done that one little section because it was way too hot, and my paint was like drying too quickly. Okay. So I have a lot to go, but I've done this much.
Like Lynn hasn't really showed you her backyard. I know she has a lot to clean up, but her backyard is awesome. I like it. I love the vibes out there.
I got my hammock. I've got a few things. My hammock's all falling apart right now.
Yeah, it's freaking that storm last night we had. Power got knocked out and everything.
Got my seating.
Yo, she even got one of those freaking, look at those things. Those are heater things. Those things are expensive as all hell. All the fufu restaurants got that shit.
I've got 2 of them, actually.
That's crazy. You got 2 of them. That's crazy.
Have you, I don't think you've seen my table either. You haven't been here in a while.
Which Lynn is
I've got a table,
Lynn is so freaking funny that she has those lighter things, those heating things, because she will never go out there when it's cold. She can be like, no, it's too cold. I don't want to go out there.
It's cold enough to light up today.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Going into the weekend, have a great weekend, a great holiday weekend. All the dads, happy Father's Day. Ray, happy Father's Day. I'll talk to you before then, but I want to throw it out there, man. There's a lot of good dads out there doing their thing.
Yeah, amen. Listen, I know that it gets hard sometimes, but understand that you're doing the right thing for your kids. They need a mom and they need a dad. I will always believe in that.
Yeah.
Kids need a mom and dad. So they need that feminine and that masculine energy. So, you know, more crazy props to you guys for standing by and dealing with all the bullshit that society has. Do you? If you don't want to give, if they don't give you the credit, we'll give you the credit.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care. I will see you on Tuesday.
Love you guys. Enjoy the weekend. Peace.